All right, here we go. Another day of bangers only, where we review League of Legends World's quarterfinals. We're officially into the playoffs. Good times, guys. And nobody will watch this today because there's two LPL teams playing each other.
Matchup between Weibo Gaming and LNG esports. Let's dive into the picks and bans.
I forgot I was in stream. Oh my god, I'm sorry for jump scaring you.
The one game that they let it through, Xiaohu was able to pick it and he beat LNG with it. So we'll see if they actually retain that priority, because both of the Lucian games that Xiaohu played so far at Worlds versus other teams, they did
Lucian obviously has been, to Kobe's point, one of Xiaohu's main picks this summer. So this is, are we going to ban the Skarner here too is the question. And take away Nico. That's a little bit interesting. Not that Scout has been a bad Nico, but I'm just a bit surprised. Going to take out Rumble on this side. They don't want to first pick it. Oh yeah, the audio randomly cuts out on these VODs, guys, so don't be afraid. I'll provide you the info, don't worry. Ezreal and Silas. So Skarner first pick here. Yeah, it's just too good right now. I mean, look at this win record, 19-8. It counters a lot of the compositions, dive comps that are coming in. It's good in basically any situation at the moment. Expected. He's going to go ahead and take Ahri.
Now, some of these hovers are also interesting.
Ahri, Renekton. Okay, Ashe priority. Ashe has spent a lot of time being banned so far, so I think they just don't want them. When you show Ahri right now, you're threatening, even though Nocturne isn't that good into Skarner, you are threatening potentially Skarner, Nocturne Orianna. And they're going to take the Nocturne anyway. Nocturne does cover for Ahri very well, but he is pretty garbage into Skarner because once you go in with the ult, you can just get ulted by Skarner. How has Worlds been? It's been fun. It's been fun. Hope you guys have enjoyed being here. Okay, we're going to take away the Braum. They take away the Braum because they don't want them to have Braum Ashe, and I guess they're not willing to pick Braum right here, even though Braum might be good into Ashe itself. And Kai'Sa and Zig. So we're going to play... No, we're not going to play that. We're playing a pick composition, LNG, with long-range engage from Ahri and Jhin and Nocturne. And we're just going to play front-to-back team fighting, more standard. Kind of low damage from Weibo, though. Kind of low damage with Ori Ashe only. But if they get onto an objective, I mean, Weibo's comp is just way stronger in the 5 versus 5. LNG gonna have to play pretty strong into... They don't really have a side lane or two to collapse on. I'm not sure how much I like the Renekton with this composition as opposed to something like a Jax. Because the Jax, at least you could play as a side laner and just collapse on him you know, on that lane with Nocturne and Ahri in order to empower the Jax further. So the Renekton feels a bit weird here.
Now, everyone at home, remember you can log into a Riot account on LollySports.com and watch Worlds live to earn exclusive Worlds icons, emotes, capsules, skins. So make sure you are logging in to LollySports.com.
Tarzan didn't deserve to win this series.
I'm really excited for is the rematch once again of Xiaohu versus
Why do Chinese love Jhin so much? So everybody loves Jhin, and the reason is, so Jhin is not a bad laner. Actually, Jhin Rel is a very strong lane, right? And Jhin provides pick potential with his ult and with his W, and it provides setup for high damage compositions. Like if this was a Rumble, you know, if you have carries in jungle, like maybe this is a Brand, or you have a Rumble or a Jax in the top side, you don't actually need that much consistent damage out of the ADC position anymore, and it's better just to have a lot of setup.
How much these two rivals
to be EDG's main man, so they go all the way back in the LPL. It is 58-54 in favor of Xiaohu. Scout can get that closer here, but he would...
There is going to be no steal away from the quote-unquote weak side jungle camps. So nicely done there. They guarantee that Tarzan will be able to get all 3 on the side of the red quadrant, and they chase them off. Meanwhile, you get the mirror, Weiwei right into the other side and starts clearing the opposite jungle.
Good force out there by Crisp, just making Scout take a little bit
of so
help
lane swap from the Ashe and Rakan. I mean, this makes a lot of sense. Like, when you're playing Ashe versus Jhin, again, this lane can be very strong in lane, and Jhin is the worst AD carry to actually take plates in the bot side when you have that early advantage in the game by being able to push bot. So your risk is really limited, so you might as well, I think, lane swap in this scenario.
The slow push coming in from Gala and Hung in the bot lane as Tarzan splits the map. The question is, Breathe now hitting level 2. When is he looking to TP towards the bot side? For now, he's sticking around the top lane. The mid wave, Zucker still yet to reach that level 2 mark.
Okay, Monty, I rewatched it the other day because I remember enjoying it from ages ago. Have you seen the Merlin miniseries? Dude, I have, but I saw it when it was released, and I love Sam Neill. Is it still good? Is it good? Because Doa and I just recorded our Excalibur episode, which obviously has Merlin in it, on the 1981 movie this week for Nerd Legion. So it's
actually a really interesting switch.
I was interested in perhaps watching the Merlin miniseries again.
Cover, right? Crisp is now coming across. Zucker's going to go down towards the bottom side, but they're leaving a lot of time with that top lane tower free for Weibo.
Yeah, the big thing to watch is, can Chris get under the turret? Because they can teleport in Breathe level 2. Chris would want to try and defend under tower, but Weiwei's trying to block.
He only has the Gleaming Quill in the Grand Entrance right now, no Battle Dance, so none of that shielding from the Rakan. Does have the heal and the flash. Will try and make his way towards
so
this turret,
proxying the wave right here with
look,
4.
they're rotating Tarzan as well.
Ooh, baby,
So
this is a pretty early TP.
here.
They could dive this guy.
Tarzan's on his way. Breathe in.
Oh, he's mega.
Good
Never mind.
wall of
Nice
triple stun
stun.
with the
Oh,
Mega now.
beautiful.
LNG.
I didn't know he was mega. That gave Tarzan time to get
Breathe
there.
dives back in. The damage going down onto Christmas. He's able to dash away. Suppressed on Gala. Will lock him up under the tower. We've got a pause.
What's
Triple
the
stun
pause?
with the Mega Gnar. LNG.
Young Peku, thank you for your Twitch Prime sub. I appreciate you.
Thinking about the dive. Breathe
You can't wait for the episode. Yeah, it will. That episode, the Excalibur episode, will probably come out next week. This week is Clash of the Titans.
Breathe in good. Wall up triple stun with the Mega Gnar. LNG. Thinking about the dive. Breathe dives back in. The damage going down onto Christmas. He's able to dash away. Suppressed on Gala. Will lock him up under the tower. We've got
Wow, why are we pausing during a tower dive?
Goes
That's so
Sepia
shit.
As Crisp goes down.
3 minutes in, the great...
Only op. Very excited to see what happens. It would have been even.
Bottom side, just being informed. Pause, by the way, we are finding out exactly why that has occurred, and we will tell you that as soon as possible. A peripheral issue for one of the LNG players is what I have just been informed.
A peripheral issue.
Yeah,
Avalon Blue, thank you for your membership. I appreciate you over there on YouTube. Thank you very much.
The awkward
LNG
part
said they had a
LNG is-
peripheral
I mean,
issue.
you guys
Okay.
can't see it, but we can. The
Thank
HP
you,
bars for both
Fire
Gala
Element.
and Zucker are not great right now. Both level 2 as well versus the level 3 of Tarzan and Breathe.
I really
I
appreciate
think
Elephant Culture so much. Makes it easy which movies to watch on a weekly basis. Honestly, me too. I mean, it's been one of the best things about Elephant Culture is
also about
like
to lose
I get
his
to like watch and think
Mega Gnar,
about more
which
movies. It's
means
been really
he's
fun
also
for
in a
me. I love
position
making that
to then
content.
start chipping away at those HP bars as well. So I think that Weibo, even though they initially lost Crisp, there's a lot to be gained here for Weibo to punish the dive from LNG.
I love that, Vedius, because even the bigger part that they're going to gain isn't just this dive defense. They've got the Ashe pushing on the extra lane on top side. So regardless, they are getting resources out of all 3 lanes. Whereas LNG, of course, you know, with 4 people diving on bottom side, they're only getting resources on 2 of the lanes. So no matter what
Nerd League is why I
happens
thought
when
of
we
it.
come out of this pod,
I am sure you know more about Arthurian legend than I do. I mean, yes, that's almost certainly true. I wrote my undergrad thesis on it.
I think that Weibo are going to be, you know, hugely the ones benefiting.
I agree with you, but I won't say no matter what, because what if LNG just get 3 kills and no one dies? I feel like that'll be pretty.
All right, this is why we love bangers
wait,
only,
try to-
because we skip the crap.
The dive
All right,
continues
let's
to
get back
happen.
into the
Gala
game.
is going to fall. We can't quite see it on our screens.
That was
as
actually a
of
really
yet,
good
but we'll jump
TP.
back down into the bot lane.
You know,
So
even though
Crisp
Crisp
goes down. He
dies.
goes down. It's 2 for Weibo so far. Weibo
All right,
trying
maybe
to
we
trade
shouldn't be
back on
fighting
Tarzan.
that.
Hung takes the
Maybe,
kill.
maybe we
Breathe
shouldn't be
able to
fighting
get
that
back to
one.
the safety
Breathe
of
is
the tower.
so. Here's the upside, guys. Breathe is actually going to be super far ahead in this scenario because he's going to
But in the
get
end, it's a
all
2
of
for
this
2.
XP.
And again, a 2 for 2
and he got
is
a kill,
great
so a
news
2 for 2 is
Weibo
actually
there.
plus. You
You're
know,
gonna
2
see
for
the
2 is
immediate
actually pretty
teleport
bad,
out,
I think.
From Zuka up to the top side after dying, but
And if you look at how we actually settled after this, right? Light is about 2/3 of a level ahead, right? Breathe is over a level ahead, but Zika's going to go ahead and use his TP on Revive. Otherwise, you know, Crisp Hung is about a level ahead as well, because Crisp had to be there at the bottom turret. So kind of imbalanced right now.
It's so nice here because Light was up at the tower.
Morgana was a young Helen Mirren. Oh, I know, buddy. I know. Dude, it's actually
to
crazy, the Excalibur cast. It's a good movie, but it has Gabriel Byrne, Liam Neeson, Helen Mirren, Patrick Stewart. Like, it's crazy for a movie made in 1981 to have all these people in it.
Harass and bully. Look at all this extra damage.
Yeah, Morgan Le Fay was Helena Bonham Carter in the miniseries. Yeah, I know.
Well, because
new headset. Yeah, it's the Turtle Beach Atlas Air. It's actually a banger. If you like open backed headphones.
The attention turns on to Crisp. I like this focus from LNG. The problem is, look at 2 tower shots onto Zuka. They get the snipe onto Crisp, but now with the mini Gnar, Breathe and Tarzan can look for the re-engage. The attention
let's take a look at this again. I mean, this is just such a good TP.
The problem is, look at 2 tower shots onto Zuka. They get the snipe onto Crisp, but now with the mini Gnar,
why are they calling him
Zuka? Look for the re-engage. Now you could argue this is a bit of an overcommitment because at this point, the problem is, look at 2 tower shots onto Zuka. They get the
is that how you're supposed to say it? I don't know about that one. I don't know about this Zuka.
This is a bit of an overcommitment because at this point, you know, they could disengage, they could prioritize getting the bot farm.
I mean, maybe that's how they told the casters he wanted his name said, but it is fucking confusing.
And guess what? Your extra 2 levels on Breathe are going to be massive for Weibo. Let's remind you of the regionals where Zuka actually really outperformed Breathe. You know, Zuka had an amazing regionals in that 304 LNG, but setting up Breathe here was such a big experience advantage, and especially on
Breathe is fucking really so far ahead. He's 2 full levels ahead now.
Quite well with this Weibo comp,
and
but I think the experience,
you know, Weibo's actually been able to catch up on basically on support. Like I mean, the trade that they made here was more or less like support XP for top XP, which is an insane trade for Weibo.
5 minutes into the game with 2 CS. He is going to be able to get to the tower now. I say that. Light and Tarzan immediately stop him. What are you going to do? This is a very sad Crocodilian, and he's falling.
Oh my, this game's over, guys. This game is so fucking over.
As LNG just can't find a way to get that.
You see, Breathe is even backing off the turret to protect his lead because he knows that the dive might be coming from Nocturne, even though it's not.
From the bot tower. You will be denied those farms, but it doesn't matter. On the top side of the map,
do I remember Dade? Of course I do.
Crucially, though,
is the Session 9 foreplay getting out of takedown hell? Dude, yes, is the answer. But it is outrageous that got taken down. It got taken down over a clip that we were talking over. It didn't even have audio in it. I don't understand these companies, right? We make this content, which is driving people to buy or rent these movies. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, so we are trying to make the people who make the movies money by pointing people to go rent or buy them. You know what I mean? Like, I would imagine that when we did The Beast Must Die, that movie probably made more money that week than it has in 20 years. You know what I mean? And yet they keep doing, like, they do this takedown shit where it's like, did you use a 5-second clip? No, copyright.
Being built between the top laners, sure.
It's so stupid.
Extremely far behind, but Garlic getting those plates, still keeping him even.
Man, Zika's in hell too. It's pushing out. Oh my God, Zika. Zika in absolute hell, man.
Focused matchups here with so much history between Xiaohu and Scout. And Xiaohu on the Orianna is absolutely pumping here. Yep. Constant pressure in mid lane, being able to shove in these waves. Very, very nice for an Orianna, and especially Weibo with the amount of scaling options that they do have.
He's having a whale of time in the mid lane right now. He's got those Ionian boots of lucidity as well. Looks like LNG are going to move up towards the Grub. We see the reset coming out from Gala. Hung just walking his way up through the mid lane as well. Both these teams do like to fight around these Grubs. We saw it in the LPL and a little bit here at World so far. And with Light being in the bot lane and only just starting to move up, I feel at least the first couple of these are going in LNG's pocket.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the LNG have too much of a numbers advantage. The waves are too good, but they're actually pulling off them. They've gotten the first grub. Breathe is about 50% HP.
Breathe is getting locked up here, doesn't it?
Oh my God, they actually get him? This is outrageous. How is it possible that they are getting grubs in this scenario when their top laner is 2 levels down?
And a little bit here at World so far. And with Light being in the bot lane and only just starting to move up, I feel at least the first couple of these are going in LNG.
Like, first off, why are we so late on this? Like, you know, Weibo, you can choose just to catch this wave and take Drake. Like, we don't actually have to dedicate ourselves. We could just catch waves right now instead of going for this. They don't even have TP for Orianna, so the wave gets pushed up. Like, look, Xiaohu recalls, and that causes them. They're literally catching waves in every lane. We should just go for Drake here. Why do we care about this? Fight on the next one. Holy shit.
And only just starting to move up. I feel at least the first couple of these are going in LNG's pocket.
All right, Weibo's just stupid.
Yeah, I feel like the LNG have too much of a numbers advantage. The waves are too good.
This is so insane.
They're pulling off them. They've gotten the first grub. Breathe is about 50% HP.
Breathe is getting locked up here. Doesn't have time to flash away.
And we give him the kill?
And find a kill on the Gnar.
And we give him the kill?
The flash stun into the stacked wave means that he's going to lose that entire farm. And LNG
Wow.
find another kill. They've
This is so stupid from Weibo. They have negative macro, guys.
So close to level 6.
Second grub's definitely going to go over to LNG. Hex flash.
I mean, Breathe has TP, but he's not going to use it.
Against the wall, the dive in with a grand entrance. Zika trying to heal himself
Breathe.
back up in the middle of the fight. Gala joining in as well. The
Breathe.
knockback on Hong towards the top side.
Breathe.
It's not going to be enough from Weibo so far, and now Light is overextended. Zuka slicing and dicing his way through.
Breathe. You have TP.
Down alongside him. Tarzan falls. LNG.
What the fuck is this?
Weibo at the grubs.
Yeah, LNG are fighting their way out of a rough early game, and they're not done.
Scout with
This is,
another
guys,
charge.
I
This
am
time
outraged.
MonteCristo caught up with that deadly flourish, and LNG will be able to walk out. 2 grubs to them and 2 kills to boot.
So hugely beneficial for LNG, as you said.
Dude, what the fuck, Weibo?
After that pick, gaining so much. I mean, they didn't clean all of the grubs, but still grabbing 2 out of the first pack is quite nice.
Medic said in the second game that the English LPM pronounced it that way. And then swapped back to Zika at the start of game 2. I don't recall them saying Zika is Zucka. I watched a lot of LPL. I'm trying to get my friends to watch all the October foreplay movies for our Halloween. Dude, Cure is such an insane banger. You must watch Cure. One more ride for the man that got me into the immortal Score. One of my favorite professional players ever. I know. Score is the greatest, man. Score is the greatest.
For these grubs, and even at a numbers disadvantage, look, they try to force this, and LNG rightly attack the weak side. There's only 2 members. They don't actually do that much damage initially. Flash away comes in from Weiwei. Hong then forced to disengage, but then this overstep. You noticed it in the fight, Medic. We have to highlight it again.
As well.
Easy collapse comes in from LNG. Scout with a beautiful charm connect. And it means that LNG find that initial kill, and they get enough grubs. That's what matters.
Gonna go a long way towards evening up those experience advantages that Weibo had been able to manufacture for themselves in the opener of the game. I mean, it's still rough for Zika. I mean,
Zika's going to struggle, I think, for a while, but Gala has started to even out the gold, at least, that he was falling behind. Like, he just got his 200th kill on the world stage with that kill in this game. He's the 23rd player to do that.
Yeah, and actually, Light here is also level 7 now, so maybe not going to do a lot for the experience. Weibo will see if they can still use those advantages, because they are pushing in both top lane and bottom lane here with Light, with Breathe, and Tarzan takes that opportunity to go for some jungle invades here, trying to put that Nocturne a little bit further behind.
I think part of the risk now for Weibo, though, is that Weiwei is level 6. That paranoia is a looming threat at any moment, right? If you go for a dive, not only will Weiwei be able to join the battle, but also you have to deal with the darkness that comes out. And we'll see how aggressive Weibo want to be. When Tarzan gets the upper hand over any jungler, he loves to go in for these invades.
I will say also, since Weiwei is level 6 on Nocturne, Light used both summoners in the last fight, you know, walking up to Grub. So he could easily get Nocturne ulted. They have to back off here. good positioning from the Weibo bottom lane. They know they are very vulnerable, and Nocturne with ult ready would just love an Ashe target.
Breathe.
It's more of an Albany pronunciation.
From the Weibo bottom lane, they know they are very
that's a good one. I like that.
Nocturne with ult ready
We
would
love
an
Steam
Ashe
Ham's references
target.
here.
Breathe. Finds an engage onto Zucker.
Easy enough. Breathe just 1v1s him. We talked about how it would be a struggle for Zucker. Well, we see it.
He would just love an Ashe target.
Breathe. Finds an engage onto Zucker.
Easy enough.
I'm from
Breathe
Utica,
just
though.
1v1s him. We talked about how it would be a struggle for Zucker. Well, we see it coming up here for Breathe.
That's a lane swap diff right there, if I've ever seen one, and Breathe capitalizes on it. See if the rest of LNG can try and get...
There's the darkness. Immediately they jump in with the paranoia.
LNG doing their best to throw their leads.
Shattering strike. The chase continues.
Okay, but we are still playing a pick composition. All right, they should have catch up now. Scout has no charges.
In this game one, LNG have been winning every fight so far. Weibo trying to get
It's outrageous that LNG has a gold lead, by the way.
The chase continues as Hung looks for another shadowing strike, but he's the one turned onto by Weibo. Magnus Storm the charm again onto light, but no follow-up for LNG.
I mean, they have no ults. LNG is pursuing with all of their ults down.
But it looks like
what are they doing? Who are they going to kill right now? Okay, they are literally chasing an Ashe, a Skarner, and a Rakan, and they have no ults left over. So what the fuck did they think was going to happen right here? These games are terrible, man. This game is terrible.
But it looks like in the end, both teams will disengage.
Yeah, LNG, they actually opted to go for the kills there instead of Dragon. They left the Dragon with about 700 HP, so Tarzan was able to pick up that Dragon. And while they did chase down one kill, it's still one back for Weibo in the aftermath as well. So Weibo actually coming out with Dragon +1.
You'll see
Can you talk about how stupid it is that Scout and LNG just played 8 games and got sent home? I mean, that's the new Worlds format, guys.
This is the idea behind the composition, right? Great single target lockdown, and Weibo say, okay, Xiaohu, good luck. We're just going to get the Dragon, and we'll take that trade. But then LNG overextend, and ultimately, this is the beauty of this matchup. Both of these teams are eager to fight. They're eager to get something back after they lose something, and it results in these chaotic situations where we're 5 to 6 in kills 11 minutes in.
It's also first game of our quarterfinal stage. You know, we moved to Paris. There's excitement in the... An overstep indeed, Vedia.
That gap, as he's going to...
Stride breaker plus your Luden's complete is definitely a...
Out the ultimate there as well. Gala had no cleanse, and around the corner, Crisp was...
Nice to actually have like a kind of big crowd again.
MonteCristo only about 90 seconds cooldown at this point, so assuming there's no objective up for the next 90 seconds, doesn't really matter if you throw it out like that. As you can see, Rift held in exactly a minute 30, so they will have that back up for the next team fight.
The downside for LNG is that Zucker is just useless in this game. He has been put so far behind. In terms of gold, you can see he's only about 500 down, but the bigger problem is the experience disadvantage. A full 2 levels down is going to be massive as we get closer to, in particular,
LNG also played questionably. Yeah, I mean, they literally got a pick, and then they continued to try and play into the with that no ults.
On a conversation that people were having
like,
after the regional
Hung did
finals,
not have to die there. They could have just fucking walked away.
To prepare for their full best of 5 versus LNG, so they made sure to prepare this time around with the lane swap, and actually quite a bit different when you have a lot more time to...
Less than a mountain, as that's a very big grain of salt, a mountain. That's, yeah, very large.
I mean, it's such a fascinating history where in the best of 5s and
Look for Breathe here. We'll jump away, then flash away from the fear. The strike breaker slow is
okay.
on him, but the collapse
We
begins from Weibo.
All right, we just did that to get a flash out.
The problem is that ulti will now not
before
be available
Grubs,
to Herald or
but
Dragon.
or
Weibo,
Herald rather.
looking at the minimap,
What the fuck?
Xiaohu is sending. Xiaohu is going bot lane to match Zucker.
What is that ult?
And again, we've already learned this from the Grubs. If you are new to these teams,
You have to use that ult around objectives to create picks on the approach or to skirmish. There's no way you can fight this now.
Does have that TP coming and catching the wave in the bot side. Zucker no TP on that Renekton, so we'd have to run all the way across. LNG giving up area, giving up ground in this river right now. No.
Korean isn't a total language? What do you mean by a total
can't
language?
really take the fight because it could become a 5v4.
Yeah, and LNG generally...
Do you mean? Oh, I think it's just. I think you got auto corrected. Tonal. No, it's not a tonal
more
language.
methodical with their play too. So this does kind of make sense. You know, Dragon coming up in 25 seconds as well. I mean, Hung is still gonna like fish around, and
Mandarin is a
scouts
tonal
coming
language.
over towards
Japanese
the
and
control
Korean
ward,
are
but
not.
Since you see Nocturne already committing to bottom, it does seem to be the trade. And I do think that is the more like LNG style play. Get the tower goal down here, really try and play off of the cross map play.
It's a guaranteed tower and likely the Drake in exchange for a possible tower from the Rift Herald charge. Obviously, mid lane tower has been seen to have a little bit more value than a bot tier 1, but we'll see how well Weibo actually use that Rift Herald later on.
And the guaranteed tower, they definitely need that gold. You mentioned
Paranoid's back up now.
Every little bit he can get, but looks like Tarzan coming down here to check you on Dragon. Ash Arrow is available, by the way.
Why do they have 3 top? Why do we have 3 top? Why do we have 3? What are these lane assignments? Why is Jin top instead of Ari with TP? LNG is literally trying to set up to take, like, at this point in time, they have officially conceded the Herald. So why is Jin in the top side? Jin has a chance to leave here and Ari go top side, but instead we assign Jin to the top lane, and now we're just not going to have coverage, so Skarner can just walk into this? Light has arrow up too.
Ash Arrow is available, by the way, so you really do have to respect.
They literally lost Dragon because of lane assignments, guys.
Yeah, I mean, the problem with LNG is they've actually
like, is this team mentally deficient?
While they were able to secure the first tower of the game, which gave a big influx of gold over to Zucker, you're now just abandoning this Dragon as well, allowing Weibo to go 2 Dragons.
Ari no TP, but Ari has TP now.
Crisp
looking for that.
It doesn't matter. You need your AD mid in that scenario. Ari TP is coming up.
Caught with the deadly flourish as well, but can just walk out. It's to safety. We talked about Crisp's creativeness from time to time, and I think we saw it there.
And when you do see that, and oftentimes you'll see Crisp either just get chunked out or some
the Drake.
More methodical.
RETP isn't up here, but you're setting up. Look at this. You have very low cooldown on this. You could absolutely assign Ari to top side, and by the time you actually start this, or TP's up by the time Nocturne starts it.
How well Weibo actually use that Rift Herald later on.
And the guaranteed tower, they definitely need that gold. You mentioned, you know, Renekton can use every little bit he can get, but looks like Tarzan coming down here to check on Dragon. Ash Arrow is
everybody's just throwing this game.
Really do have to respect it.
Weibo is throwing objective control. They threw kind of at Grubs. LNG's throwing at Dragon. Like, what are we doing?
While they were able to secure the first tower of the game, which gave a big influx of gold over to Zucker, you're now just abandoning this Dragon as well, allowing Weibo to go.
Whack-ass lane assignments.
They've been Crisp
looking for that backline, going in with the quickness is feared, caught with the deadly flourish as well, but can just walk out. It's to safety. We talked about Crisp's.
Why is Hung top?
Creativeness from time to time.
Why is Hung? What is he doing? Why is he here?
And when you do see that, and oftentimes you'll see Crisp either just get chunked out or sometimes get caught out altogether, you have to remember that he's going really deep there to get some of this deep vision. And
dude, this game is just
risky, but, you know, with the rest of the team,
it's just pooping back and forth forever.
We mentioned the Ash
We're
Arrow
just
is ready.
pooping.
There's a lot of follow-up ready, and so maybe that extra vision deep through the jungle will pay off later, because Weibo, with the comp that they've drafted this time around, you gotta believe they are so confident in their 5-on-5 as we progress, dealing with LNG, who are a lot pick-oriented. You know, some very focused damage on LNG. That's why the Weibo game
We're just
plan,
pooping back and forth forever.
They shocked us with it. Weibo!
Weibo! Surprise!
The focus for both teams now becomes on these adder towers. With the Herald available for Weibo,
is that an anus? No.
Options. It looks like they're sending this.
It's a parentheses, caret, caret. That's 2 butts. That's the poop, pooping back and forth. There you go. Ocean Legacy knows.
Mid and then try and use it there. Meanwhile, Zucker is keeping that push down on towards the bot side of the map. Breathe, while in the 1v1, should be able to win, is conscious of the fact that he's playing on the weak side, so he has to be defensive. A nice charm comes through from Scout.
TP behind as well as LNG looking for the flank here. Hong's on his way across. You can see Gala trying to work his way across here as well. Zucker with that TP, counter TP used. LNG will start to back away. They see the reinforcements arriving for Weibo, and in the end, just a TP for TP exchange.
Breathe again. Got to be a little bit careful here. Is going to turn mini soon. When he turns mini, would be the opportunity, but I don't think they've forgotten Zika was on the top side, and so just going to be that rotation over towards mid.
I like the adaptation here from Weibo. LNG committed a TP to really not any effect, and Weibo are able to hold that top side of the map while also being able to put pressure down in mid.
Hooping back and forth
Tarzan
forever.
may have caught out Zuka.
Edge of it stop coming out. There's the Impale as well. Zuka has to try and slice his way out. Will burn the flash as well. The chase could have continued from Weibo.
Are you shocked with the results? And is there a reason for the Renekton top? I think it was a safe blind pick, but like I said, I think Jax is about a million times better with LNG's comp. Because at least you can, you're not going to win the front-to-back 5v5, right? So here's the issue, okay? You ready? Who kills Skarner? You have to have somebody who can actually kill Skarner. Right? Who kills him? It's not Ahri. It's not Jhin. So you have all of this setup, but you don't actually have a way to break their front line. Right? And they have basically a perfect anti-dive comp. What happens if Nocturne goes in? Skarner, Ashe, I mean, you just get kited, right? Gnar. How does LNG win a 5v5 with this comp? They don't. They don't. They don't win it. Right? And so they have to create, that means they have to create picks. They can win the game, but you have to intercept them with paranoia, with ults from these three as you go to an objective. But they haven't created an additional win condition for themselves, which would be having a top that can split push and add damage. And so if this was Jax, I think you're in a much better place.
Zhao is going to go and match that, but the rest of LNG are there to support him.
Because now, basically, if you're LNG, you have no split push win condition versus the Gnar now. And so you have one way to win the game, which is to get overwhelming vision control and play around objectives, which is what they're trying to do. But they're already 2 Drakes down, so they can't actually threaten Drake's soul at any point in time. So they're pretty fucked.
There in that situation.
Because Weibo, now we're at the point in the game where basically Weibo from this point forward can just trade every Drake for Baron, right? So there's no way for LNG to force a fight, and Weibo can just give up every Drake and play the rest of the map.
Constantly looking for areas that they can
what do you think of Reckless's tweet? Oh boy. Just wait till the truth comes out.
You see opposite side of the jungle.
Let's just say I do not think that Reckless is presenting the full story, of which he probably is a significant factor in his own benching. Reckless has been very good at PR and cultivating his fan base, but I will tell you this, he is not a good teammate.
Off of like this Nocturne threat for all of their side lane plays, and you have to look for the possibilities of those.
And I think he is very stupid to tweet things like that, because he is basically now begging the actual truth to come out. I think Thorin's going to just eviscerate him. He is begging for it, guys. He should have just say fucking nothing about this shit. He's stupid.
Best in a split push position, especially when you have something like the Nocturne that can jump on you. But because Xiaohu knows Breathe can survive in a 2v1 for long enough, he can just play further back. He doesn't have to be applying too much pressure on the map because he knows Breathe is going to do that for him on the top side.
He is not a victim, guys. He's not a victim.
Crisp's mobility on the Rakan, and you'll notice it again on the minimap, trying to clear out this bot side vision. While there is still very deep ward coverage from LNG, it provides a bit of extra safety. Xiaohu, though, choosing not to overextend. Where a scout with full confidence, knowing he sees the entire Weibo's bot side jungle, constantly catching that wave, pushing in, and keeping this pressure up, ready to contest the third dragon.
That's very much what we expected between these two teams. The LPL number 3 and number 4 seed, 8 and 8 across the course of the year against each other, and it's always close. Like, you can never really tell who's going to win. I think coming into this series, most people were saying LNG's world form is slightly better, but we haven't seen them play in 12 days. They went 4-0 and just qualified to the quarterfinals. Weibo have given us a little bit more tape, but these two teams have battled so many times across the course of the year. I think everyone knew it was likely to be a 50-50.
How do you feel about Riot evolving League by firing staff? I mean, I'm just going to put this out there. Everybody was like, how are you evolving by firing staff? Evolution is based on survival of the fittest, guys. It does. I mean, technically, that's a word you could use for layoffs. Evolving.
To get chunks on tower,
I mean, I think it's
and
ridiculous.
Control the jungle between them and mid lane.
I think the most ridiculous aspect, though, is just Mark fucking Merrill using his personal Twitter account to make these announcements. He's not even CEO of the company. Why is Riot incapable of, like, putting out official corporate statements that are not on people's personal Twitters? It's fucking so weird. What a bizarre-ass company they are.
Speed his passage back towards the river, but he might go towards the top side. They have a control ward around that red. You could look for a fight against Breathe and give up the third Drake, but it is sole point for Weibo if you do that.
And I really want to highlight Light. Light has such great potential in this game, and he's been so good for Weibo all summer long. He's got 2 items here with his Phantom Dancer on top of the Kraken Slayer. Pretty big advantage versus the Jhin that's just on the last Whisper and pieces. So just the static shiv. I mean, we've seen some static shivs do work.
Mark Merrill is a deeply fucking disturbed human being, though, so it's not surprising.
But I think it would have to
what
be
a
bit of
weirdo that guy is.
For LNG if they could actually pull a fight like that off, because Weibo are set up so nicely here. Double control wards, controlling the entry. Such a very solid front line for them to play off of, and they can just group on Dragon, no problem.
LNG looking for an engage. Scout on the flank is still being tracked.
They're resetting Drake.
Reset. Zuka continuing to
Why are they resetting? Why did they reset it?
Available.
Xiaohu just putting the ball down. They go in with the arrow immediately. They dive onto Hung.
Reset.
So you actually just can't play the LNG's comp in this situation. So Weiwei does spell shield shockwave. So pretty bad shockwave. But when you're walking in, how do you walk into this composition?
They dive onto Hung, and he is down. Breed looks for more, but Gala has to flash the wall, but Crisp can continue to chase. He gets the blast cone. Gala knocked back. Wallop just short. The paranoia out from Weiwei.
If only Xiaohu still had Why are we chasing? We're chasing into all their ults? Just do the Drake. My God. Skarner is still on Drake that whole time.
Turns his attention across to the walls, but really he's just looking for a way back to the mid lane. The chase continues. Light goes in, flash impale. TP behind us now. Weibo might be flanked. Gala looking for a little bit more. Scout coming back in with the teleport of his own. Zuka onto the back line. Targets Light first. Light flashes away. Zuka flash follows him. And now Breed's running for the hills. The engage onto Tarzan. LNG somehow turn the fight around.
LNG grabbing the extra kills. And are they going to head towards mid lane tower? They only have 1 minion. So hovering around Baron, I mean, they don't have great Baron damage. It's an exciting couple of kills here, but the objective still went to Weibo, getting themselves to soul points, and you don't have DPS for a big Baron rush, so it's just going to stop
Weibo could have just taken the W and just taken the Drake, and then also maybe converted that into a Baron.
But then they decide to chase so deep that LNG could convert it into multiple small skirmishes.
Ashley Kong asked if League is getting completely rewritten next year in a response to Mark Merrill. What do you mean by rewritten? What do you mean by League is getting rewritten?
A little too hype. Xiaohu split from the rest of the Weibo members that were chasing and did not respect the Nocturne turning back around. The original pick, amazing here for Weibo, and then Breathe is able to use the Hex Gate to force Gala's flash and continue to pressure them. But here, Xiaohu goes forward into the 2 members, and with Nocturne ult on, you see Breathe back up here, and it actually allowed
this game
LNG
is so bad, guys.
Flanking.
Everybody is playing like shit in this game.
Ultimate power there, actually causing Weibo a bit of trouble, and then you saw the teleports coming back.
The entire code
and Zuka,
being
he
rewritten.
Might be weak, but if you've got nothing left, he's just going to run you down. Having free access to push out that top side allowed him to secure Starak.
Did Mark Merrill respond to this, or did Ashley Kang just tweet at him?
That's the key right there, Betty. No longer weak after you get that extra
Guys, they've already walked back that League will change forever in 2025. They've already started to walk that back by saying like, "Oh, we just got too excited by saying that."
Crazy, because based on how this game has been going, you shouldn't. Oh,
arrow onto Hung once again. Doesn't have the flash to escape. Charmed up, knocked into the wall. Weiwei dives to the back line. The paranoia is doing so much work, and in the face of darkness, there is no.
You should.
Oh,
Arrow.
Arrow onto Hung once again, doesn't have the flash to escape, charmed up, knocked into the wall, Weiwei dives to the back line. The paranoia is doing so much work, and in the face of darkness, there is no light. Scout gets the kill, it's a double for him.
See, this is the problem. So your engage goes off, and you're able to actually kill the Ashe here, but Xiaohu's still alive, and you got nothing else. And we're actually kind of... Oh, we're not trading evenly because Nara isn't here. Does Breathe not... Seriously. Does Breathe not know how to use teleport? He has TP. Renekton doesn't. How does Zika get here first? How? How does he get here first?
Gets the kill. It's a double for him. Double impale coming out, but Scout still has 2 charges of the Spirit of Sergeant gets 1. In response, LNG trying to turn this fight in their favors, and they'll do exactly that. So far, it's a 3-for-1 exchange. Xiaohu and Breathe trying to do everything they can. No flash for the Gnar, but he does have that ultimate in a second. He's going to go Mega and try to chase down Hung. Shadowing Strike into the crash down. Breathe won't get anything more out of the battle.
This is the brawl.
He needs to TP before Paranoia is used.
There is no light.
You should. Oh, Arrow.
If we're making the play, he needs to understand that Paranoia is up and he can TP. Right? He needs to back off and TP.
Hung once again doesn't have the flash to escape.
He also can TP after, guys.
The paranoia is doing so much work, and in the face of darkness.
Okay, it's gone. It's gone. He can TP now. They are continuing this fight. Weibo is calling to continue this fight. They are using Skarner ultimate. Zhao is also playing terribly. Holy shit.
The paranoia is doing so much work, and in the face of
How this game is
Zhao
going.
isn't in this fight, by the way.
Oh, Arrow.
onto Hung once again, doesn't have the flash to escape, charmed up.
He literally just runs around the entire fight.
Doing so much work, and in the face of darkness, there is no light.
And then he uses Shockwave, but he only hits 1, and it's with the Skarner ultimate, so it's very low value.
But Scout still has 2 charges of the Spirit of Sergeant gets 1. In response, LNG trying to turn this fight in their favors, and they'll do exactly that. So far, it's a 3-for-1 exchange. Xiaohu and Breathe trying to do everything they can. No flash for the Gnar, but he does have that ultimate in a second. He's going to go
He should have TP'd on the Ashe Arrow, yes. Even if you're afraid of Renekton canceling, you know, even if you're afraid of Renekton canceling this TP, you have to play TP aggressively. Okay, you see, you can hop out if you're Gnar into the brush, right? And here's a question for you guys. If he has to cancel your TP, is Renekton there in this fight? No, he's not. So the worst case scenario actually happens where somehow this Renekton actually gets here first. It literally would have been better to have his TP canceled than have this Renekton help in this fight.
So far, it's a 3-for-1 exchange. Xiaohu and Breathe trying to do everything they can. No flash for the Gnar, but he does have that ultimate in a second. He's going to go Mega and try to chase down Hung. Shadowing Strike into the crash down. Breathe won't get anything more out of the battle.
This is the brawl we expected from the brothers of the LPL. Scout is such a phenomenal RE player, finding the angle onto the backside. You'll notice the engage comes through from Weibo. They think that they've caught out Hung. He's not allowed to be here. The knockup comes through. There's the Ashe Arrow. Keep track of Scout, though, on the right side, using the coverage of the darkness. Forces Light into an awkward position. He gets chunked out by Weiwei. And then the rest of the fight ends up Tarzan trying to salvage it.
Also, on the mini-map, you'll see Zika comes up first. The Renekton is able to rotate over first. Because of that Nocturne ultimate that you mentioned, when the lights were turned out, there was no teleport from Breathe early, and so then you have to wait the whole duration of that Nocturne ultimate. He could not join with his teleport.
Yeah, but he could have TP'd later too.
Gnar,
It's ridiculous.
Who had been a very big factor, actually walks over and everybody's already dead.
The big thing for Weibo, though, is LNG have kind of won the last 2 fights. They're still only 2,000 gold ahead. They haven't picked up a Baron. They haven't even taken the mid-tier 1. Weibo are on sole point. All it takes for Weibo is one good fight and you feel like the game's over. For LNG, all the fighting seems to be happening a little bit mismatched with when you...
So far, they haven't really been able to find that big wombo combo engage. They're finding picks here and there, but once you commit all of your damage onto a single target, you're kind of...
Yeah, they're playing a pick composition that is impossible to currently play because they are so far behind in Drakes.
The The Renekton, who is 2 levels down, 600 gold down, pretty much the entire game is now up. He's still only...
Well, see how many resources they can get. From the Hextech Soul arrival in
they're TPing for
Weibo,
it.
they're just going to force on Baron instead. They will trade away one dragon.
Yes, this is exactly, as I said earlier, this is exactly the play Weibo should be making.
They'll take the pushing power.
I mean, they're not even going to lose the dragon because LNG are trying to take the fight around the Baron, but that Baron's going to be gone before they can really begin it. The paranoia comes out. TP is being invested as well by LNG. Quickness. The charm going on to Weiwei as well as he dived in with that paranoia, but Ishtar's impact is enough to get Tarzan.
That they were on picking up your dragon.
They'll get the gold.
I mean, Soul is obviously better, but you do get basically an uncontested Baron this way. And they just can't stop the siege that you have.
On the map. A tier 2 in mid lane, a tier 1, tier 2 in bot lane as well. They can take so much away from...
As they set their sights on the bot tier 1.
All right. With or...
It almost feels like a 2 in the mid lane right now. 5 members pushing strong down towards this bottom side. Crisp just hanging out of the back, making sure they have vision behind them and then can always jump forward with the quickness. Weibo extending their lead. It is only 1,000 gold, but it has swung in their favor over the last couple of minutes.
I mean, this has probably been...
Does the Princess Bride count for the current Nerd Legion arc? Yeah, we'll get to it. It's not going to be the final one because it was we're doing them chronologically.
Tarzan looks for a pick, but LNG are able to disengage. The arrow connects, but I don't think there's much follow-up here.
It's fine. It's like a 75-second cooldown right now. Just using it to see perhaps if you could catch someone out. Weibo, there's 3 cannon minions in this.
The siege is working.
The siege is incredible. They'll break open the base of LNG, who are still looking for some sort of flank position. Hung is in the river. He's a mile away. He's basically in Spain with how far he's away from the rest of his team right now, looking for that flank. He's going to be marked, though, by Tarzan, and Hung will realize he doesn't really have a way in here. Weiwei, though, does with the paranoia, diving onto the backline, but there's no damage to follow him up.
You can't dive into that. Wait, you can't dive into that. You can't dive into that. All right, are we done playing Nocturne, guys? Are we done playing Nocturne? Like, if they first pick Skarner and Ashe, you can't play Nocturne. That's illegal. Okay, whatever. Game's over. What a terrible day to have eyes.
This is the full VOD of the matchup between Weibo
Cool
Gaming
arena,
and
though.
LNG.
It's going to be another...
You've got...
All right, we'll go to the bathroom, guys. We'll be back in a couple. All right, we back.
Whether they want to put their plan into effect, and the answer is yes, they do. Nico going to remain on the ban table.
The headrest
Phoenix been
foam
taken
is
away as
destroyed.
well.
True.
This does mean that
It's a very
Scout
old chair.
will be getting his hands on either Aurora or Yone. The question is what the priority will be.
It's a very old chair that my wife had in Korea. And why buy a new chair if I'm not going to be able to take it back with me to the States when I move back? I have a Herman Miller Aeron in the States. So, not going to buy a bunch of new shit, guys. I just have to get rid of.
Where will LNG go first? Is it Aurora or is it Yone?
I think the Yone, if you're looking at precedent for the entire tournament up until now, that has been the preference. And Scout did have quite a good game on the Yone. Xiaohu, meanwhile, definitely seemed like we can prefer the Aurora on the side for Weibo. Honestly, there's just so much potential when you get a first pick Yone. Sejuani, for me, jumps up really high in priority, so I would expect LNG on their next two picks to look for something like that, because you always want to complement your melee solo laners with a jungler like that. Weibo will be expecting this, and they want to take away some of the
we're getting into
power
this
of
now.
So it kind of is actually
And we're we're gonna give
given the two
Scout
power
Yone.
picks traded.
I feel like this is a
Lock-in
mistake.
from LNG. That is a strong top side. We've seen this top side.
I feel like
multiple
this
times
is a
so far in
mistake.
this tournament.
Yes, we have.
We're still waiting for the
And,
tteokbokki rest.
Weibo,
I hate tteokbokki,
they'll
man.
need to round things out with a strong.
I found a Herman Miller Aeron on Facebook Market for $150. Yeah, you absolutely should pick those up. So Herman Miller, you can get a bunch of those chairs, because especially what happens is that now that work from home happened, a lot of these offices are liquidating Herman Miller chairs. So you can, there's just warehouses full of them. You can absolutely find them on Facebook Marketplace. Mine was not new. My wife did that in LA. Got an Aeron chair. Okay, so we're still going to ban this versus Gala, right? We don't want that, although the Kai'Sa's still up, and it feels like Scout's best champion this summer has been Yone by a pretty significant margin. They're going to take out the Skarner, which is interesting here. I find it suspicious we would ban the Nico over the Yone, and we get Aurora through at the same time.
Strong jungler if they want to. They could
Harsha, that's
also
how you got
answer
your
with
Aeron.
top
Yeah, no,
by
it's
locking
such a
in
good
your carry,
idea.
the Cassante. Yeah, I love Breath's Cassante. I think it is one of his best performing champions.
Is Herman Miller worth the price? Yes. The price of Facebook Marketplace. But honestly, like, don't skimp on your chair. If you work in your chair, it's like a mattress, guys. If you're going to be spending 6 to 8 hours a day sitting in it, you should probably get a good one, because it will really affect your body.
And I think into the matchup, we've seen that matchup go both ways pretty consistently throughout this tournament.
I will say LNG's composition lacking a little bit in magic damage, and with the Ziggs already banned out, you're not going to be able to find it too easily from the bot lane role. Yone does do mixed damage. He does have some magic damage in his kit, so it will be, you know, a small bit, a helping of it, but not as much magic damage as if you had a Lilio or something in the jungle.
Yeah, especially since we do expect the bottom
Speaking
lane
of
to be
peripherals,
kinda
any
straightforward.
suggestions for a headset? Well, Brudowski, Last Free Nation happens to be sponsored by Turtle Beach, where you can get 10% off your entire order. What kind of headset do you want? This is the Atlas Air open back. It's actually, I think, the only wireless open back headset in the world. I know I'm using a wire because I'm monitoring my voice through my mic, but you don't have to use it with a wire. Sponsored chatter. Just depends on what you want, man.
Gala, there's no way Gala's getting his hands on either the Ziggs or the Kai'Sa, as the Kai'Sa also has those AP options to try and shore up what you're talking about, meta, and plays so well off of the all-in. So these are the really expected bans. I guess you get a little bit of leeway on the last one there from Weibo.
So Weibo just emphasizing the Ashe in this game. Okay, they banned Kai'Sa in the second rotation. Can't have Gala getting that. Now, this is a game where Gala, again, can play Jhin. And you feel better about playing Jhin here because you have carries at these positions, but you're also a little bit low on the old AP damage. They took out Kaisa, so I'm wondering which direction he goes with this. We're taking a Mumu as a dive counter. I'm still not sold on the Amumu, guys. I'd still rather see Maokai.
Because Amumu was very popular in LCS really early on, you know, in our playoffs, and of course was shown at.
I used the Elephant Freeze Pipe code a couple months ago. It actually still worked. Great. I'm glad Flower Fields.
Well.
No, we haven't done the sponsorship in a while, but they were very good to work with.
Were able to do, you know, they killed the Yone a couple times. Of course, they lost the game and the Yone was still OP, but they did kill the Yone a couple times with the lockdown from it.
We'll see what Weibo decide to round out their composition with here. We have Galo on a very safe AD carry in that Ezreal. Leona as well for a bit more engage.
The Renata Glask is strong here because they're trying to play into Weibo. So this is a composition, again, kind of low damage, but at least you build the Leandries first on Amumu. But we don't have any AP over here, so armor stacking going to be absolutely huge for K'Sante and Amumu here. But again, kind of low damage.
The planning from Weibo definitely had paid off.
Push pressure.
In Yone, not much more really needs to be
I'm just
said.
not a fan. I haven't seen a game where I'm like, wow, this Amumu pick is great. You know what I mean? But he could build Leandries here into just straight armor, which probably feels good.
His Yone found some incredible engages. Within that game, I think he found 2 multi-man ultis that really set up for the Rumble ultimate to just do so much devastation. He's a proficient Yone player domestically, and he's proven it internationally. But here in the early game, Yone is not much of a champ. He doesn't offer much. He's not that strong of a duelist, and he's getting bullied out of his jungle by Light and Crisp. We're looking to get a bit of information. Now, you would expect LNG to look for the lane swap because this bot lane 2 versus 2 is horrible to play.
Watch how they combo Amumu and Aurora
like
ult here. Oh yeah, I can see how that's good.
LNG.
Still prefer Maokai.
Weibo do have the defensive wards up on the top side. They're numbered. They saw the Jacks already. Now they're seeing the rest of them.
Okay, we're lane swapping away from Ashe and Renata. That makes sense.
Fight over the chickens. They are outnumbered.
They are very much outnumbered. 4v2 right now. Hung trying to get towards that mid lane. Maybe looking for the flank on Xiaohu. And just jump away. The chase is on though. There's the Zenith Blade into the Q3 knockup from Scout. Ignite is ticking on Xiaohu. Chris coming in for the flank as he might
Scout took an unnecessary tower shot there. What the fuck, Scout?
Who flashes away just
we don't have to pursue that. That's kind of ridiculous.
A very positive trade for LNG gets turned on its head thanks to the arrival of Chris.
I mean, where did they think Chris was going to be? You know, where did they think he was going to be?
He who loses his flash and already burning his pot.
Yeah, now Xiao, who's comfortable in the matchup, has the extra support here too. Just bullying Scout under tower, continuing to throw out skill shots. No flash on the Yone. Complete control here. Nice stuff, and you see the transition from Tarzan. He'll be slightly slower, but it shouldn't affect the outcome here. Honestly, if you're looking too at the experience level for the supports, Hung only got a tiny sliver of experience through mid lane. So if they opt to go for that defense, then it is going to be a little bit risky for them. But you see Weiwei also recalling and jungle coming out.
Sejuani coming here because they really want to TP Jack spot side.
TP is coming through. Hung only.
This is the same way they did the lane swap in the last game. So Weibo mixing it up a little bit where they're trying to find a timing to get the jungler into bot. And power up Zika. Now, it worked really well last time, but Weibo not going to fall for it. So Weibo got ahead in this way after lane swapping in the last game, and LNG is going to do the same thing here. So it's a little bit different style to the lane swap we've seen previously. Like previously, we would just see the support there, and now the junglers doing a partial clear, a 3-camp clear to level 3, and then coming bot side.
Going to go catch top, and ultimately a pretty stock standard even trade for both sides.
I will say that it ended up hurting Tarzan a lot, the delay at the beginning of the lane swap, and him just kind of waiting and watching by chickens. Because Tarzan now theoretically doesn't have anywhere except for his blue buff to go farm. He just goes back and get his level 3, but now he wants to make a play.
Just flashes away.
The reason Breathe doesn't TP in game 1 was because of OBS bug, according to I Will Dominate. Oh, really? Was there an OBS bug where he just didn't have TP?
First blood to LNG, and they're looking for more. Crisp has no way out. He's put in the dirt by Zika.
The lane swaps on the other foot now. LNG are
What does open back mean?
And washing
So
by
there's two kind of headphones, guys. There's closed backs, which are probably the ones that you're most used to wearing, that isolate the sound, and there's open backs that are open. So, for example, I can hear myself snapping right now. I can hear everything that's going on around me. So the reason why you would want these is because they're actually just better for sound quality. Everything sounds much more expansive, like it's happening around you instead of in your headset.
chickens, because Tarzan now theoretically doesn't.
Now the
have
sound
anywhere
leaks
except
out
for his
too, so obviously, like, if you're in public, you probably don't want to wear open back headphones.
blue
But
buff
if
to go
you
for him.
are
He
by
does go
yourself,
back and
they're
get his
amazing.
Level 3, but now he wants to make a play.
Chris flashes away. Zika does have a flash of his own. The handshake flashed away from Tarzan, trying to get in with the bandage shots, but he's going to be stunned up with a shield of Daybreak. Tries to flash the Zenith Blade, but can't escape it. But Chris flashes away. Zika does have a flash of his own. The handshake flashed away from Tarzan, trying to get in with the bandage shots, but he's going to be stunned up with a shield of Daybreak. Tries to flash the Zenith Blade, but can't escape it.
I love a Moo-Moo.
First blood to LNG, and they're looking for more. Chris has no way out. He's put in the dirt by Zika.
All right,
Tarzan a
so
lot, the delay at the beginning of the lane swap, and him
That's
just kind of
right,
waiting and watching by chickens. Because Tarzan now theoretically doesn't have anywhere except for his blue buff to go farm. He just goes back and get his level 3, but now he wants to make a play.
Chris flashes away. Zika does have a flash of his own. The handshake flashed away.
So they just don't know where Weiwei is, and they're still coming in.
With a shield of Daybreak, tries to flash the Zenith Blade, but can't escape it. First blood to LNG, and they're looking for more. Chris
Wouldn't
has no
Tarzan have
way-
seen Sedge there? He doesn't see him though.
That it ended up hurting Tarzan a lot, the delay at the beginning of the lane swap, and him just kind of waiting and watching by chickens.
But the thing is that they
and
should
Jungle
know
coming out
that
to try and
Sedge is
defend his-
there,
But now
because Sedge
underneath
just
the towers,
covered. I mean, you
almost
see
2 plates
Sejuani
gone
here
down.
covering the
Tarzan trying to
bot
get these
side.
Krugs for level 3.
Like,
Still
they know
sitting only
Sejuani
in
is
2
here right
himself.
now covering
A lot
bot,
of
and
experience
has already
means that he
recalled
doesn't
because you
have
see
that
Sejuani
handshake
with
to set up
boots.
any CC.
So
delay
now
at the beginning
Sejuani
of the
just
lane swap,
walks
and him
in
just
for
kinda
crab, which
waiting
is like
and
the
watching
natural
by
place that
chickens.
probably
Because
Sejuani would
Tarzan
be.
now-
Handshake flashed away from Tarzan, trying
So I don't know why we're going in on this.
The lane swaps on the other foot. Gee.
Think about what Weibo tried to do there. The flash commit from Crisp. You talked about it in the previous game, Kobe. He's a player that has high highs and low lows, and that was an
Yeah,
ambitious
Crisp
play
has
that
not
got
been good
turned
at
on
Worlds,
its
guys.
gold lead.
And let's see what Tarzan wants to do with the extra vision that they.
Is that
they
good
have
for video gaming? Wouldn't the sound quality be lower? No, the sound quality
had
is better on
Weiwei,
open back
because
headphones.
Weiwei makes the play
If
on
you're in a
bot
quiet
side and
environment
stays
by
down there for a
yourself,
long time. We'll see
the
if
open
when we
backs
get
are way
back to
better.
live, though, here's another look at how it
Any more
started.
Mech Warrior?
And
Able
Zika being forced to flash away.
Asking
Tarzan
the real
with a flash
questions.
to try and sidestep the Zenith Blade. Doesn't quite work out for him. And of course, Crisp had already committed his flash, so it ends up allowing Zika to collapse onto him.
Probably not today,
and get
guys.
A kill.
That's the
You were
answer.
talking about junglers. We see Tarzan pathing back towards his top side. As they have respawned now, at the very least, he will have those camps available.
Yeah, so it looks like he dropped off that ward right there that you see by blue buff during the timing that he had, and then went back for second spawn of the Krugs and is just going to continue to reverse.
But more neutral and clear, but if you like bass, then close back is the way to go.
Here,
True.
there.
Bass does sound better in
Interesting
close
pathing
back
from
headphones.
Crisp and Light. They
But
actually
most
started opening up
audiophiles
towards the
prefer
bottom side
open
of the map,
backs.
and when they hit the tier 3 there, they've immediately sprinted up towards top to match Gala and Hung. I thought when they passed down
Did the
bot side
Broncos win?
initially, they were just
Yes,
gonna
they
give up the
crushed those
first set of
ridiculous
Grubs, but
Saints.
it looks like they might actually want to challenge for them.
Horrible stream game Crusader game
Ash,
stream
this early on
win.
is pretty strong.
I haven't
Now
played
we've
as much
also
of
offered a
Crusader
huge amount
Kings
of
3
value
as I would
well.
have liked.
The trades back and forth.
So we got
mid
lots
lane.
of time in the
Waves in
offseason.
favor of Scout right now. Level 6 for Xiaohu.
Look at where Zika is.
One thing I would say that's very rough for Weibo though is, well, is that a Mumu with no flash is such a vulnerable target in the game. You have no inherent escapes yourself. You have to like use an opponent to try and bandage toss away from. And so you become almost a liability at early Grubs fights if the early skirmish
LNG
goes
is
against
absolutely
you.
crushing
And
this game so
Tarzan's like,
far.
you know what? I want no part of this.
Yeah.
I'm just a lonely Amumu with no flash, and they do not want to contest at all.
And look at LNG. They don't waste Gala to bot, and they're going to have Zika try and catch what's left of that wave, while also interrupting the base of Light. This gives LNG an opportunity to set up for the Dragon earlier, and sure, while some farm will be lost, LNG is now in a better position to push out this bot wave, get control over mids, and Zika now hitting level 6. I expect his TP to be available should a dragon start off as well. So LNG making those smart map movements here.
Because they were able to stop Light on the reset. LNG can set up in the river first.
Well, crucially, it's also because Weibo tried to match on the top side, right? Knowing that that bot side ended up delaying their recalls has given LNG so much time. And look at Tarzan's positioning. On the top side of the map, he's not in a position to contest. So LNG in full control of these early objectives.
Yeah, again, I think that is the correct call for him. Just play opposite side again. He's a bit of a liability at the moment. Weiwei is so close to level 6. Will get level 6 off of the dragon.
I never got into CK3 quite like I did CK2. My biggest problem with CK3 is it's so hard to get Primogenitor,
Scouts going in for this. Tarzan doesn't have the flash yet.
which I just prefer playing. So that's one of the reasons why I've been less motivated to play it.
But the knock into the wall, into the all-out will pull Scout back. Is not quite enough damage.
All right, we're just this is no, guys.
The chase goes in as well, and maybe his fate is sealed, but the knock into the wall, into the all-out will pull Scout back. Is not quite enough damage, and Zika takes the kill on
I'm over it.
Tarzan.
This Jax is huge.
In the end, LNG get one.
Ah, the lonely mummy, no flash, is eaten up here by the solo laners, and now Zika with
An XP lead over Light as well. Chris has to burn the heal because Weiwei's on the chase, as is Hung. Flash Glacial Prison, it's cleansed away. The arrow goes on to Hung as well, but he can flash.
You are adorably behind on the current level of football player name ridiculousness. Yeah, there's even on the Broncos. You think Bo Nix is ridiculous? How about a guy whose real name is Lil Jordan? That's his first name, Lil Jordan Humphrey.
Flash, Zenith play, dodge, Light's movement. Absolutely light on
Never
his
mind
feet
the
there
rest
as
of
he
the NFL.
escapes the oncoming storm.
Light showcased his movement in the first game, sidestepping charms, doing what he could to navigate that dive, and he demonstrates it once again.
On the chase, as is Hung. Flash Glacial
Light instant
Prison, it's
cleanse.
cleansed away. The arrow goes on to Hung as well.
Ooh,
But he can flash.
it's so
Zenith
well.
Light
Oh my
plays
God,
CS
dude!
lead,
It's so
XP
well
lead
played by
over
Light.
Light
Heal
as
for
well. Chris
speed.
has to burn the heal
Sees the gank
because
coming
Weiwei's on
in.
the chase, as is.
Wave flashes. Instant cleanse. Captain Jack to the max.
It's cleansed away. The
Stops
arrow goes on to
Leona.
Hung
Dodges
as well,
the
but he can
E.
flash.
Dodges the W from Sejuani.
Dodge, Light's movement.
And then he just dodges everything. Holy shit. And then volleys. And then he just trades damage back. What a god. Light has been amazing, guys.
Showcased his movement in the first game, sidestepping charms, doing what he could to navigate that dive, and he demonstrates it once again in game 2. Able to circumvent that gap.
While no
from
flash
LNG,
up, yeah.
Committed the flash
insane.
from Weiwei, the ultimate as well. Still though, LNG with a kill lead, a goal lead, an objective lead, a good play from Light, but it's not enough to really bring Weibo back here in the early game.
certainly not. You know, maybe they can make a play off of the next Amumu ult for Tarzan when he does have his flash ready.
Yeah,
they can try and get some
DeBrickashaw Ferguson,
gold back into
classic.
themselves, because if the game keeps going this way, it's going to be so hard for Weibo to control those side lanes with the early advantage on the Jax and on the Sejuani. Trying to keep pace there will be rough.
LNG again making the proactive map movements. They've been rotating this bot lane, ready for the upcoming objective. And look, 45 seconds on the Grubs. Zika is bot. You've got Gala and Hung top.
Hell yeah, 3 casters with 0 China experience for our LPL versus LPL match. I know, Riot really knows how to do casting assignments.
Still in a very comfortable position. So LNG once again setting themselves up nicely to try and secure 6 Grubs.
All right, let's see if Tarzan with Amumu ult ready, with flash ready, will come for an explosive second Grub fight. Heading over, he'll go straight here through Raptors and head into it. Honestly, I'm looking forward to this one a lot. It's going to determine a lot of the mid game.
No first items. Apart from that, Zeke's convergence for Weiwei has the Glacial Prison coming up in 5 seconds time as well.
Couldn't even get dagged on this one, guys.
Not going to crest 6 before the fight begins if the Grubs have started on spawn. Xiaohu has that huge ultimate. The Between Worlds can control so much space in a fight in the river like this, but LNG are the ones to start up the Grubs, and they're going to have 4 before Weibo even breathe in their direction. And Breathe has no TP. He'll just be fighting Zika down towards the bottom side. Tarzan looking for a steal, but Gala's putting down the pain. Mystic shot just wide there on Crisp. He'll look to hit another. Hung takes the 5th. And LNG might even just secure 6 Grubs as Weibo. They might as well have bought a ticket and some popcorn. All they've done is watch.
They watched, and I don't think they like what they saw there.
There's the arrow. Hits onto Weiwei, Glacial Prison going down as well. Crisp has the hostile takeover, but they can't get enraged, and the Flash Bandage toss does not connect for Tarzan. Weibo waited to...
Why is Weibo just trying so hard to follow up on this engage? They can't do it. Once Ash Arrow is down, there's no other tool for engagement, really.
Weibo waited too long and still couldn't find
Yeah, just get up plates in mid. Very fun.
And then they whiffed Vedius. That is...
Jesus, let's go back to this. Okay, so we're not actually fighting the Grubs here, so we just give up all the Grubs, by the way.
Before Weibo even breathe in their direction. And Breed has no TP. He'll just be fighting Zika down towards the bottom side.
They just fart around here, not going in. Weiwei is just not using Smite, guys. He's just killing him so he can secure the 6th buff, the 6th Grub buff. Now you have Jax and Yone in side lanes with 6 Void Grubs. It is fucking over. They just have no control over the top side of this map. And then, like, why are we pulling the trigger after all the Grubs are dead?
And some popcorn, all they've done is watch.
They watched, and I don't think they like what they saw there.
There's the arrow. Hits onto Weiwei, Glacial Prison going down.
And they're like, now's the time for the TP play. Aurora's back in base.
Does not connect for Tarzan. Weibo waited too long and still couldn't find the fight.
They watched and then they whiffed Vedius. That is so rough for Vedius. We were thinking this second Grub fight is going to determine a lot of the mid game. Well, it's been determined that LNG are going to have massive split push advantage with 6 Grubs.
I don't think they were expecting the movie that they were watching to turn into a tragedy. The loss of Flash from Tarzan is definitely going to hurt.
Because Tarzan realized he picked a Mumu and can't do anything, so he tries to force doing anything. I don't know, man.
Through these sides, and look at them at the bottom of your screen. A 1K gold lead for Zika in the jungle.
I'm waiting for the Amumu pick to impress me. What is happening in scrims?
The important thing to remember
what is happening in scrims with Amumu where everyone is so horny for him?
Dramatically far behind. If he's going even with you, then he's gonna become a problem.
Yono's great from behind. It's the whole nothing personal kid teleports behind you, slices you out. That's Yone's kind of bread and butter, right? With the fate sealed. For now, though, LNG in such a commanding position in this game. You can see Scout getting chunked out a little bit. Has himself a bit of magic resist, likely going up towards a wit's end eventually on the Yone. For now, just those Zerkers. Usually you want the Blade of the Ruin King into Stride Breaker combination. Before that, not as strong as you'd like to be.
And Zika on this Jax is just going to get further and further ahead. You look at top lane right now, he's crashing another wave into tower. He even has time to get turret plate money. The Trinity Force Jax just slams that thing, mining gold for free.
With 6 Grubs as well.
LNG are just running rings around Weibo. We've been seeing it from the start of the game. After they got that advantage in the lane swap, Weibo have just constantly been playing catch-up. That's a tower secured. Breathe can't do anything to force Zika off it. He doesn't have any support, but it's fine. He has the ward to get away to safety. Meanwhile, on the bottom side of the map, LNG have set up for the Dragon again. Just fantastic macro coming in from LNG. Their map control is flawless. Scout trading in mid as well to make sure that they have some control over that wave. Now, Crisp and Light have been able to get the push, and they have access here to the Dragon.
Yeah, Tarzan's there as well. Has the Curse of the Sad Mummy. You can see Xiaohu trying to join up with the...
He just literally flash Qs him, and then Weiwei continues to stun him so he can never get in. Why are we using that ult? Why are we using the Renata ult? Okay, now Scout, because you didn't hit Gala or Scout, they just kill everybody. No, it's definitely not a good fight for Weibo. It's definitely not a good fight for Weibo.
Just needs to land these Mystic shots. He'll get the resets. He looks for another one. The Light can't quite find it. Tarzan with a Smite, 3 HP short, but still secures it in the end. Weibo found something out of nothing.
Can Gala keep chasing here? Tarzan is a little bit trapped.
He's on the wrong side of the map.
Well, he's in the jungle, and that's where Tarzan likes to be.
Too bad.
But I don't think he's going to escape from that tree that's Gala and Hung. Tarzan will dive forward, delay his death for a second, but Gala will get his second of the game.
No boots to move, but at least he has Leandri's finish, guys.
Yeah, Tarzan's there as well. Has the Curse of the Sad Mummy. You can see
this is a casual 3 versus 4, right? I guess they're 3 versus 3 at the start. It's actually amazing. Tarzan gets the reset here, otherwise he's just dead.
Diving in, Tarzan gets brought back with the bailout. And what a good fight this could be for for Weibo as Chris flashes away from Scout. Xiaohu trying to put the damage down. Tarzan still sticking on the Drake. Gala can dive forward though. Just needs to land these Mystic shots. He'll get the resets. He looks for another one to light. Can't quite find it. Tarzan with a smite, 3 HP short, but still
it's a 2-for-2 trade. I mean, at least Weibo gets the Drake here, but this is sloppy, man.
Here, Tarzan is a little bit trapped.
Well, he's in the jungle, and that's where Tarzan likes to be.
And they're gonna basically give up Herald for it too.
Tarzan will dive forward, delay his death for a second, but Gala will get his second.
And they probably
of the
lose
game.
bot tower, right?
I mean, it was
Because of
LNG to
Yone being
initiate
down
the
there and
fight.
6 grubs.
As a jungle support, they engage onto Tarzan, but he's able to weather that engage.
Should he
Scout's
even have built
follow-up comes
Leandries
through
in this
very
game?
late.
I mean, look, my argument would be no, because they're all AD, so probably the value of Sunfire is enormous here, right? So probably Sunfire first is better than Leandries first, especially because you have an Aurora to provide AP
He's trying to
damage.
stack up his Q. He ends up getting hit by the Renata ultimate. And
That's
now
my
he can't
take, at
really
least.
Follow up. Flashes in, connects with the banana combo, meaning he doesn't hit onto anyone. And then Scout trying his best to follow up, can't really get much. Now Gala is able to get 2 kills, but given how far behind Weibo are, they get the dragon, they get 2 kills, and Weibo keeping game 2 interesting.
They didn't actually lose bot tier 1. Interesting.
Correct.
Yeah.
Got it. Oh man, the bailout there did so much.
Sunfire Frozen Heart ran to win, he's unkillable. You would think.
LNG, they're unperturbed by that dragon going over. They're right back to business here, right back to the objectives.
Isn't Sunfire shit on Worlds patch, but it's good for helping your jungle clear. And the value of armor is incredibly high versus LNG's comp.
But they're going to continue to focus on this Amumu. It's a Conqueror Amumu.
So maybe in most situations it's bad. Maybe it's bad there too. Like I haven't run the map, but that's just what feels correct to me in my mind.
The extra advantage.
I mean, the Leandries priority is very common. We've seen a lot on moves, but it does leave you in a window where you are very squishy, very vulnerable, as you've highlighted, right? So LNG, they may choose in the upcoming fights to prioritize him, but alternatively, they can just continue to play the map. You can see 3 components completed for the Blade of the Ruin King for Scout.
Leandries is core on Amumu. I'm aware, guys.
Gold away from securing
I am
that
aware.
item, and it's really that very crucial spike for Yone where he becomes this monster in a side lane.
Yeah, and guess
It's
what?
only
Jax is
this
already a monster
specific
in the side
situation
lane.
that I'm saying it.
Zika is rich.
That you probably want to go for some like bombies, either Sunfire or just bomby Cinder into armor stacking. I mean, the value of Frozen Heart Randuin's here is huge.
All have been delayed by 5 minutes at least. It is a mountain soul for them if they can get it. And we'll see if they can in the next 2.5 minutes. As a note, Gala has just passed death as the 6th place all-time kill leader at Riot Internationals with 493 kills across the course of his career.
I mean, it's possible, guys, that the Leandries is just too good on Amumu, or you need it for clear or something like that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, we'll see if he can fight Jax for last hits.
Scout.
But I would think you could kind of cheat the build by at least getting a bombies.
Hung is there to provide cover. And just you look at the mini-map and it feels so overwhelmingly in LNG's favor. They've got push and top.
But Bombi's Frozen Heart
the bot wave is
versus like Frozen Heart versus Yone
also
Jax
forces.
feels amazing.
And they're setting their sights on this bot tier 1. Weibo, though, want to keep it alive with investing resources of their own. But what does that mean on the rest of the map? It's Zika continuing to push in the top wave. Xiaohu should be able to wave clear for now, but that pressure is only going to continue to mount as they turn their attention to mids.
Oh, what a
Dude, Light's cleanse has been
Captain
insane.
That one, he'll get out. Only has to burn the one summoner. Didn't have a second one, so it's good that was all he needed to escape that precarious situation. True shot barrage just wide there from Gala, was blind into the forest.
It does translate some pressure from topside there. You see Jax kind of leaning down a little bit. It's a nice little rotation from LNG, just in case, you know, Weibo tried to do something crazy there. Weibo, don't actually overextend, don't try and do anything crazy, and regardless, it is going to be the Rift Herald in mid and tower down another objective here for LNG. They can just rotate on over.
Zika's going to catch Xiaohu on this movement to the side. They dive back in, though, with the Between Worlds, and now Zika is on the wrong side of dodge.
Oh my god, he got him.
Gets one with a lamppost.
In a 1 versus 3.
Forfeit, shot down to Light.
A 1-for-1 as Zika, he hesitates, he disengages, he flashes into the fog of war to create space, but he was just waiting for the cooldowns to re-engage onto Xiaohu and finding a KO. Now ultimately that's not going to result in a huge amount, but the damage was done.
really beneficial for Weibo. He's looking to catch Xiaohu here and like assassinate him before anyone can respond. But as soon as he burns the flash, to me, it's a net negative play.
I mean, yeah, I think that's a fair argument. 500 gold into Light's pocket is going to be valuable. The problem is, will it be valuable enough?
Yeah.
As the Dragon is started off once more by LNG. They conceded the previous one. Let's see if Weibo can find another good fight here.
Yone TPing in.
They're looking for it. Tarzan stepping into the darkness. Hung and Gala guarding. The arrow goes down, hits Gala, he'll cleanse. Buffered the arcane shift away at the right moment as well. Zik is in the top lane, does have the TP, has a few wards that he could get to, but no real flanking positions, and because of that, LNG will not be able to fight their way back into the river. Weibo will get their second Drake of the game. TP from Breathe to the top lane to match the push from Zika.
And they still have mid lane priority here. They're trying to force them off.
Hung goes in. Tarzan dives forward as well with the Curse of the Sand Mummy between worlds. Now Hung doesn't have a way out. Hostile takeover. Hits on 2 on the back line. Zik is trying to join up with his team as LNG begin to hail the retreat. Light continues to rain arrows into the back of Weiwei, and he's a damn porcupine. Xiaohu takes the kill. LNG walking home wounded.
It's Weibo clawing their way back into this one. They make use of their pick, the Aurora and a Mumu combo there.
Hostile lane to match the push from Zika.
And they still have mid lane priority here. They're trying to force them off.
Hung goes in. Tarzan.
Nice, actually really good stun onto Yone there.
Well with the Curse of the Sand Mummy
Plus the Aurora combo, just kind of keeping them in there afterwards.
Takeover. Hits on 2 on the back line. Zik is trying to join up with his team as LNG begin to hail the retreat. Light continues to rain arrows into the back of Weiwei, and he's a damn porcupine. Xiaohu takes the kill. LNG walking home wounded.
It's Weibo clawing their way back into this one. They make use of their pick, the Aurora and a Mumu combo.
It's pretty crazy that bot tier 1 is still standing when LNG should have just insane split push pressure with Yone, Jackson, 6 Grubs.
Will
Just LNG away and then convert it into a team fight. The TP response into top lane to create a 4 versus 4. LNG tries to
Great catch by Tarzan.
He gets a good flash, but this is the combo that Kobe's been talking about. A Mumu plus Aurora, it's circles on circles, and LNG don't have a way to respond. Weiwei has no flash available to him, so the chase from the Ashe comes through. And while the bandage toss doesn't connect, it doesn't matter, because Weibo are demonstrating to LNG, we have
flash pulls
swing a little
important for Weibo, because they want to be able to get these big AoE fights, in their advantage. It's going to be really hard to keep LNG.
Is the Yone pick solved with the Aurora red side trade? She seems so dominant in lane against Yone. Yeah, well, the thing is, like, even Smolder seems dominant in lane against Yone, but Yone is a one-item champ, and he's just incredibly broken right now. So, I mean, winning lane is not the end of the game, right? That's the problem.
The problem LNG find themselves with, if they'd gotten the second Drake, they could have conceded 3 and 4 in order to leverage their side lane pressure, but Weibo have found ways to manage LNG on the side lanes for now. They're buying more time to scale up, get those crucial items, and you can see Xiaohu very close to completing his second now, which will put them in a great spot as we get closer and closer to Baron being a main point of contention.
I think importantly, Breathe is on his way there as well. Already has the Iceborne Gauntlet going up towards that Thornmail. He's 2k in the hole, but in terms of items, we'll be at parity pretty
Is he building Randuin second? It sure looks that way.
If he can get that Thornmail online.
It sure looks that way. Thornmail 2 for Breathe in the top side, because he needs to be able to split push against the Yone. Yone has QSS now, so he can't get actually caught by the Aurora Amumu combo.
QSS to deal with, the Amumu to deal with. Ashe Arrow, so much CC on the side of Weibo, definitely will get some value there.
But it delays him on 1.3k gold. Right now he is already 600 gold ahead, basically 600 gold behind if he doesn't get use out of that QSS in the middle of a fight.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter because he's Yone and he's a one-item champ, so it doesn't actually matter that his build is delayed that much, I don't think.
He can keep those Mountain Drakes out of LNG's hands as well. It makes their team fight so much easier.
Scout being a bit cheeky as he fishes for a blue buff, but chooses wisely not to overstay his welcome, recognizing that he was spotted on that blue trinket. Gonna go back to catching bot wave, top wave.
Amumu does build Randuin second, then Cassante builds Jackshow and Frozen Heart. All right, fair enough.
This game with LNG consistently pushing in these side lanes, creating these constant points of pressure that Weibo have to answer for, but the pressure hasn't been enough to stop Weibo approaching the objectives. Sure, it may have cost them some gold here and there, but
Jax is like fully online now, 2 items plus arm guard.
To remember that Weibo has a lot of standing gold. a single good fight can very quickly swing the gold back in their favor just because the number of towers that are available for them to take.
I mean, they haven't taken one yet, Benny.
Exactly.
So there's quite a few available.
That's what
for
I
them.
mean.
Yep.
Maximum standing gold.
It's so true. Breathe looking for a turret up towards the top side. TP coming in as well from Weibo.
He's I guess I know he's going Zonias. It's good on Jax.
First tower of the game is broken.
The blue pings from LNG
First
onto
tower
the
for
Baron.
Weibo at 24 minutes.
From Weibo.
What is going on
They
with
will
these
invest to make sure
mid
this
lane
top tier
engages?
one is
Aurora
cracked. Their first
TPing
tower of
top
the game is
side.
broken.
The blue pings
And we just leave
from
this
LNG
open.
onto
We
the
just
Baron.
leave this
They're
open
cautious of
versus
it.
6 grubs.
So all of they're going in TP behind.
Oh, he light cleansed anyway, but that was a whiff on the Sejuani ult.
Trying to go forward as well. He'll cleanse away. The hostile takeover finds one light brought back from the dead.
I mean, I don't understand why Weibo is reacting this way. They literally just used Zhao Hu's TP into
Trying to
topside.
survive underneath the tower. Xiao Hu looking for that flank position. The dive goes in from Breathe. He isolates Weiwei, but Gala and Scout are still chasing him forward. Out towards the top side. Xiao Hu's being fought up by Zika.
Oh my god, Breathe got him.
Xiao Hu looking for that flank position. The dive goes in from Breathe. He isolates Weiwei, but Gala and Scout are still chasing him forward.
How did he know he was going to get the kill there?
Xiao Hu's being fought
Oh, he didn't.
by Zika.
Light E'd forward.
The shutdown,
Rip.
but Zika starts to collapse, and Breed doesn't have a way out of here. LNG find the fight.
Light went right into the
But why are we? So we literally TP Aurora into the top side. So they know there's 2 people top, and they're like, yes, I do actually definitely want this fight. I do definitely want this fight, and the only thing we're gonna CC is the Leona and the Sejuani. I just do not understand what Weibo is doing.
Another crisp and Breathe trying to survive underneath the tower. Xiao Hu looking for that flank position. The dive goes in from Breathe. He isolates Weiwei, but Gala and Scout are still chasing him forward.
Also, Gala does not have to E forward here. Breathe is dead. Scout will kill him. Scout flashes for this, so Gala going forward is so silly.
Breathe gets one. The shutdown, but Zika starts to collapse, and Breathe doesn't have a way out of here. LNG find the fight.
Light went right into the face of the Cassante there, immediately regretting it. And LNG, it had been a dragons and keep pushing out the timeline for that Dragon Soul.
I think this is an overforce from Weibo. 2 versus 3 is the initiation. The ultimate from Amumu is good, but it's crucial that you have the Aurora there as well. So much of your damage is unavailable. Crisp
Yeah, but they TP'd Aurora to
to
topside for like no reason, so here we go.
The back line, and with the arrival of Scout, it ends up becoming a one-sided affair. Breathe does what he can, and Gala was not expecting this damage. Yeah, that Breed with a great performance at the end there, but Weibo, they fall short on the fight.
The blood was boiling and the tension so high.
So many champion and short. Yeah.
From the LPL in the next battle, because this Yone still is he's come online. You know, he has the Stride Breaker and the Blade of the Ruin King. This is where he really shines as a champion, and when you have the side lane threat that LNG do, the expectation is that Scout will be one of the key pressure points for this team.
Certainly will. The Baron vision looking to be denied as LNG sweep through. There is that ward deep into LNG's jungle that the observers highlighted for us. Weibo have TPs unavailable right now, but they're going to be.
I'm surprised Zika hasn't been able
on the
to
side
actually
lane, not
play
as
forward at
abusive,
all in this
as
game.
you might think, looking at the 1.7 thousand gold lead that he does have individually, and really looking for that possible play for, you know, the drawn fight over towards Bond. They have multiple.
I mean, they've been able to sneak their way back in and get that bit pockets of vision.
No
as you
deep wards
highlighted.
from LNG
And,
here.
Dragon
They need to
now,
get better
1 minute
vision control if
45.
they want to keep pushing
The
up. Okay,
valuable
now they're
dragon
getting
for
vision
both
control over
sides,
bot
but the threat
side.
of the Baron is something that both teams have to take into consideration. We enter a bit of a tense state as both teams TP.
Finishes Jack's show as well for that side lane. Xiao Hu has a Seekers and a needlessly large rod, just base though, so about 1,000 gold short probably of completing his Zhonya's.
They should have such a crazy split push edge, but they need to get the deep vision in for it first. And they didn't get any deep vision.
Ward from Weibo has now
They were like in that jungle, but not putting wards
as both
down.
teams just fish for opportunities. They're making sure that vision is well controlled, information is crucial. As that deep ward from Weibo
Sejuani
is
just
now
covering.
dissipated. No TP flank.
It's just Jack's show as well.
What's
for
your
that
favorite
side lane.
pizza topping
Show has the
combo I
Seekers
can make at
and a
home?
needlessly
Oh,
large
so many
rod
good
just
ones,
base,
man.
though, so about 1,000 gold short, probably. of
Sausage and
completing his
mushroom.
Zhonya's, with the AD carry sitting at 3 items apiece too. Really feels like everything
I am
hinges
a
on this
pineapple
next
enjoyer,
fight.
that is
Will it
true.
be a Drake for Baron exchange, or will
I am a
both these
pineapple
teams
and Canadian
succumb to their
bacon on
bloodthirsty
pizza
ways and
enthusiast.
decide it's just a 5v5 in that bot side river?
If there's a Drake for Baron trade, I think whoever got the Drake side of that is going to really regret accepting that trade.
Get some spicy Italian sausage and then brown it in a cast iron pan and then chuck that on your pizza.
I think the contest here definitely has the chance to be very
Spicy
explosive.
Italian sausage. You get a pound of that. Then get your cast iron frying pan really hot, and then brown it on there, and then crumble it all over your pizza. Put some mushrooms on there. Any anchovy enjoyers? I love anchovies on pizza.
Partially to charge up his Q, but also to just add that extra bit of pressure onto Weibo, saying, hey, you need to come check this. There's always the threat of us starting it. And Weibo, arrow not connecting onto Gala. Did, of course, have the cleanse available. They were hoping to burn that from him.
Part of that is you don't have a very big window there as Weibo. You've already brought both your top laner and your mid laner towards a mid lane play.
That's how Scout was zoning Xiaohu away from that wave as well, really suffocating them slowly but surely of those farm, of that golden experience. Scout now soon ticking over to level 17.
Take it out of the casing. Okay, well, first off, you can just get hot Italian sausage just ground in like a, you know, the same packaging that you get ground beef in. But yes, obviously, take it out of the casing. If you get it in the sausage form, take it out of the casing.
But the silent pressure paying off as LNG secure the dragon and contested.
Yeah, take the easier objective.
Here are the pings, ping, 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 ping. Is it Baron o'clock for Weibo, Kobe?
No.
Okay.
Definitely not. A little bit too risky to like pin yourself all inside of the pit at the moment right now, I feel like. And so this is just Dragon number 3, Soul Point. So not like the game-breaking one that you want to throw everything out right now quite yet. I will say, nicely done from LNG to kind of manufacture that objective with only having to give up some time around the Baron for vision coverage. As well, too, like, decent job collecting, even though Weibo are getting pushed in. You know, it was still a cannon wave, and Xiaohu gets back just in time. He still gets the cannon, still gets the majority of the resources here. So Weibo are just trying to carefully still collect as we build towards the really big game-breaking team fight.
It just feels like LNG should be able to be putting on a lot more pressure in this game.
Across the map with the Baron for the Soul trade in 4 minutes time, because Mountain Soul is such a massive, massive benefit.
Sure, there's Jax with AP, there's
an AoE on the opponent team.
Weibo. You can even see a cloth armor picked up for Crisp on support. This armor's only going to get... Oh, Weiwei.
Solar Flare. Crisp caught up immediately. Mikhail's from him.
God, the cleanses this game have been beautiful.
And escapes the ultimate
on the Sejuani ult.
Are they pinging?
They are pinging. There's lots of pinging happening.
They are pinging.
But it seems like they're pinging the Baron this time, Betty. Weibo gonna
how do we not have vision control for LNG?
Can it do the same in game 2? Gala dashing forward with the
how do we not have vision control in this situation?
Will Weibo turn the fight, or will they stick on towards that Baron? Breathe on the front line, stunned up. Weiwei brought back the Baron down to 4,000 HP as LNG start to enter the pit. This is their zone to control, and Weibo trying to fight back. Hostile takeover. Arrow.
Actually, they did a good job of kiting that. This Baron pit with the hallway, super good for that hostile takeover. Who got it? Oh my god, he got it.
This is their zone to control, and Weibo trying to fight back. Hostile takeover. Arrow onto the back line as well. The Baron down to 1,400. Breathe kills of Weiwei. The smoke comes in from Weibo.
Shout out to Weiwei not being in the pit when the Drake was being done, because he got Aurora ulted.
And Weibo trying to fight back. Hostile takeover. Arrow.
I mean, they did a good job of pushing him out of the pit with Cassante ult and Aurora ult, but still.
The smoke comes in from Weibo, and LNG walked into their own
I really don't think that... Wait, what the fuck? What is Zika doing?
1,400. Breathe kills of Weiwei. The smoke comes in from Weibo, and LNG.
Oh, he Zhonya's, and then he gets immediately handshook, and then he flashes out. Wow, it's actually a very well played team fight by Crisp.
And once again, it's the Baron.
That was a good team fight from Weibo.
Choose their moment wisely. They draw LNG in. They get the smite on the Baron, and they get the team fight.
What's your favorite chess opening? I don't play chess.
Execution once again from Weibo. Patience was crucial there, but Sejuani committing the ultimate.
They start it, and then they force LNG into the pit, and they are able to use their comp, which is very good at kiting to kite them.
A lot of the initiation from LNG is reliant onto Hung. And when
Remember that Weiwei also doesn't have ults?
It doesn't go the way they want.
Because Crisp McHale'd it earlier. So they don't really have a form of primary engage right now, because Leona ult is also down. So it's a good call from Weibo, because there are two forms of engage. Leona ult and Sejuani ult are both down.
And when they start it, it doesn't go the way they want.
And so they know they're going to have to walk into this pit, and they have to walk into the pit versus Renata ult, Renata ult and Amumu ult. This is actually a very good play, I think, by Weibo.
I am just panicking, freaking out right now, because they're both in here. Look how close it is.
And they're able to prevent Yone from getting into this with an Ash Arrow into the Renata ult. And he uses QSS, though.
And the Aurora
comes in, and then there you go. You get 3-man stun. So Jax and Yone are not really part of this fight. And he's stunned out of his Yone ultimate, which wouldn't have hit anyway. But
LNG don't have the damage. And
great team fight from Weibo.
Great ultimate to chip away at their HP bars, but 0 fall, 2 die, and a Baron is secured for Weibo.
That was so cool. Like they drew them back in, baiting with the low health Baron. Then the Renata ult comes all the way through. The Aurora ult comes all the way through.
And that was some really good shot calling and target selection in that team fight by Weibo, I think.
And they saw triple melee top side of the map. They invested in
they actually just abused the timing window when the engage ults were down from LNG.
The biggest objective they could possibly gain, the Baron buff, allowing them to take so many towers.
And you can already see the gold swing. We talked about standing on Breathe 2 on Weibo. Inhibitor tower in the bot lane has fallen. Scout, you're going to come back, mate. You're going to join up with your team. The tier 2 in the mid lane's gone down as well, and Weibo continued the advance. Scout, perhaps you need new instructions from your admirals, because right now your Nexus is falling, and all you're getting is an inhibitor tower. Now Scout TPs the Nexus tower, the second one. The target, Curse of the Sand Mummy onto Sigurd in the backline. He's going to
Whoa. Why did Tarzan ult?
Nexus is falling, and all you're getting is an inhibitor tower. Now Scout TPs the Nexus tower, the second one.
Oh, because it was Zika, and they're trying to kill the Jax, but Jax has Zhonya's. He actually went back and picked up Zhonya's. This is one of those moments where the Jax, right, he gets arm guard, which he had at the fight, breaks it, and then immediately has the gold for Zonya, so they didn't look at items. You have... this is a mistake that a lot of teams are making so far in this event, guys, is that it's mostly the Jax. So with the rise of popularity on Jax, teams need to be able to realize that when you see arm guard, the next back that whatever he has is going to be the Zhonya's, and it's going to reset that cooldown, because they get trolled by it here. They get trolled by it. They waste everything on this Jax, including the Ash Arrow, which just sails right through. They use a Mumu ult, right? They use Ash ults, they do Focus Fire, and LNG is cleaning up their front line in the interim. So this has been a mistake that a lot of teams have made. You have to assume that he's going to have... Like, you have to check for that Zhonya's, basically.
Alongside Weiwei and Zika to really turn this one around. LNG holding on to hope, but Gala's down to the twofold Hex. And Weibo, only Zhao who survives, but they've broken the base.
But I've been seeing that mistake being made a lot. They also get the top inhib because of the minion wave push.
I guess it worked. The instructions were good.
Guys, Sola's on the map. So on live right now, Sola's on the map, and they have extra members there for LNG. There's so much potential. But here's a look at the force. They teleport in, breathe, and then Scout, as you say, is going to teleport on the last Nexus turret. Look at how much room Zika creates on the backside. It's a solo person Amumu ultimate. He arm guards, jumps back out, and then goes for the re-engage. A huge counter strike for him.
Yeah, massive counter strike.
Two of them, and just chunks down everyone.
Zika won this fight.
Collects the last hits on a lot of these. It is very big. I want to see how LNG, how much they can push as we get back to live with the dragon arriving, the mounted dragon on the map. A critical defense, though.
Yeah, I doubted the orders from the general, but Scout and him were on the same page. The soul secured for LNG, as you with that soul.
LNG, the
Weibo
Max with the puck. That's how he's going to
got
round
the
out
bonus
his
speed.
We're 37 minutes into the game, and he has ambitiously gone himself.
Ooh, really? He went Abyssal third? I don't know about this one, Chief. I don't know about this one.
The measure.
I don't know about this one.
Fight soon enough. Baron is spawning in 40 seconds.
I mean, it's actually mega efficient power with 10
I mean,
stacks.
sure,
It's
yeah.
cost efficient at this point, with the movement speed coming out from it, as well as you highlighted, Kobe. So probably picked up a Dark Seal and was like, hell, why not? Might as well. He's looking for that final item. Medjai fits that slot well. LNG stepping in to this red side jungle. Scout looking for Xiaohu. Can't quite find him. The red buff, the first target. Tarzan smites early. Meanwhile, in the bot side, Breed is fighting off Zika. 5 items on the Cassante is making hard work for that Jax to work through. With no Baron for LNG, 6 seconds before it spawns, quite hard to actually siege in here. The defense from Weibo strong enough. The Baron starts up though by Scout and Weiwei. Will Weibo face into the darkness? Hung is there. He's
Surely it's
spotted.
unlosable with Mountain Soul. One would think.
Hawk is Weibo vision. Charter Crystal Arrow only onto Hong.
Okay, we had to use everything there, so we used
Bandage toss for the chase.
everything. They got Gala, but Gala has cleanse. So again, we use everything on the front line, and now we just all die. That is a mega stun by Jax.
Breed trying to peel for Xiaohu and for Crisp, but already we see Weibo collapsing. Zika doing so much work. Now it's on Crisp, and Xiaohu. Zika will flash away. The reset coming out from Scout because he can TP back into the play.
What's wrong with Abyssal and Amumu? They are all AD. I just don't think it has as much value as armor items in this game.
A close fight, but it's ultimately won by LNG. They have the members to reset back out onto the map. Scout quickly catches bot wave, and LNG will look to secure the Baron.
I just think in this particular game, like normally Abyssal's fine, but I think in this particular game having the Abyssal is a bit troll.
Couldn't find the fight that they were looking for.
It's the second time that Weibo like engages on the front line though, and it's to be fair to Tarzan, it's very hard to engage onto the back line. But flash ulting for onto Gala, who has cleanse, is pretty bad.
LNG who win this time around, and they're the ones that get to march on your base wearing purple.
It's not usually that you can see immediately a soul have an impact like this, but I do agree with you, Kobe. I think the mountain.
I mean, look at everything they use though. That's again they blow a Mumu ult and Ash ult just to like stop the Leona, and they don't even kill the Leona. Or they do eventually, but they have to go in deeper for it, and then Zika gets the god tier Counter Strike off.
But then it's all turned around in an instant.
Scout and Zika, the solo laners of LNG, find an angle onto Light with no flash and shut him down immediately. Weibo do what they can to try and turn it around, chasing onto Xiaohu. You're seeing how dangerous it really is, but it doesn't matter. The
Baron buff.
Was that inhibitor clearing the wave in the mid lane? Zika's looking to rain down. Gala's going to use the Void Might spawning from those 6 grubs they secured earlier to tank up the tower for him. Zika will take the mid lane inhibitor tower. The bot lane inhibitor tower very low still. Weibo don't really have an easy engage without a Mumu's flash and with that arrow down.
Yeah, I mean, I underestimated the siege power of LNG with the poke coming out from Gala and with the grubs as well acting as extra minions to allow more time to hit onto those towers. Good damage was done, and while they don't secure an inhibitor,
now he has GA too. Oh my god, Zeka's just never gonna die. Mountain Soul GA, Zonia's Jesus. Wow.
Just will worlds though. Zika's still flanking, and Tarzan looking for that flank, has the GA. Xiaohu takes a Mystic Shot and takes a quarter of his health. Breathe is on the flank here. Glacial Prism going on to Tarzan. He goes back in with a bandage toss. Zika's still flanking, and Tarzan is left to his own devices here. He dashes back. Curse of the Sand.
Oh, once again, just gets a huge one. And then Amumu uses ult, so they have no Ash ult now. And they have no Amumu ult, and they have no Renata ult, and Zika just Zonia's. Literally doesn't matter if he dies right here.
LNG continue their advance. Xiaohu
gets heals from Sundered Sky, goes back in, resurrects, and game is over.
And Breathes his last. Earlier on this game, it was Breathe who came out on top on the Wolves. This time, Gala has his vengeance. This is the LP.
All right.
This is the full VOD of the matchup.
It's probably closer than it should have been. Okay, quick break, guys. I gotta play the ads. I'm sorry. All right, we back. Let's go. Soon.
Between Weibo Gaming
This
and
Nico
LNG
ban I find
Esports.
very
Let's
curious.
dive
Are
into
we
the picks
really
and
so
bans.
worried about Scouts Nico?
150.
Okay, we banned these are the 3 OPs, guys. So we're just gonna ban the 3 OPs on red side. This is why we have to ask if blue side is a huge advantage, because I feel like this tournament, Worlds, is just boiling down to red side having to ban all these picks. Or you leave them all up and you take 2 of them.
World game, he's passing death for second place, obviously only behind Faker.
What do you think of Stephen King? Literally never read a Stephen King book.
Okay, so
Do you like
time,
BattleTech and whatnot?
game
Not?
number
Have you heard
1,
anything about
when
Gundam
they
Requiem
beat
for
the Ash,
Vengeance?
I got
We are reviewing that show on Nerd Legion, me and Doa, next week.
super excited.
So if you want to hear my thoughts, I haven't seen it yet. If you want to hear my thoughts about it, check out the Last Free Nation Culture channel. Here you go. Subscribe over here. Doa and I will talk about it. Doa is a huge Gundam fan.
So we're bringing it back, baby.
The Nocturne going to be the instant lock-in for Weiwei. Will we see the Oriana paired alongside it? No, it's actually going to be...
This is what LNG went for in game 1.
I know nothing about Gundam. I think I saw some Gundam Wing and some Gundam Seed. But Doa's the Gundam guy. Doa is actually casting the new Gundam CCG, the card game.
They're saying you're now losing one of your frontline components.
That's releasing. He's working with Bandai.
But the idea is the same. A lot of dive, a lot of back.
All right, so we're taking Ash. Oh God, I hate this Nocturne Ari combo. They're just gonna play Ash into it. Like the Ash priority is huge here. It's again they're gonna play a kite composition. Yep, just take Braum now. Braum was banned the last time they played, so we just take that up front. We take Jax here. Ban LeBlanc. Okay. But we haven't banned Ori, so we can just play Ori again. Surely? Yeah, we just play Ori Sejuani. What the fuck, man? You can play Ori Sejuani. Oh, Ori Maokai. I was gonna say, or you could just play Maokai. So you see Nocturne ult, and then you just Maokai ult, and then it's over. Dude, this Nocturne is being overplayed as fuck right now.
LNG, once again, look to split the map. They've got some good dive.
Gala got his Kaisa, but that's about the only good thing. Okay, so remember how I complained, though, that we had Nock Ari, but we didn't have a Jax, and we had the Renekton here last game, right? This is better. And the reason why this is better, guys, is it's still a pick composition, but now you can play into the split push. My concern is that they weren't leaning into the Jax split push last game. But you know, you can get the Jax alone in the 1v1, and then you can knock Ari Kaisa ult into that lane, overload that lane, kill somebody, and then go for an objective. So I like this comp better from LNG.
With a lot of dives, Zico again on the Jax had a great game too on it. Weibo, a little bit more team fight threat, although I will say their composition seems to lack a bit of damage. Ash doesn't have the highest damage output.
Honestly, that was my instinct too, Medic. I think the advantage I had in game 1 was because of how far ahead Breathe.
What's Gundam UC? Doa likes the original Gundam from the 70s.
He was able to offer a lot of value still in the team fights. But once that initial burst is gone, your consistent damage becomes very dependent on light. I will say that Tarzan provides a lot more single target lockdown this time around. But I feel like LNG just
I watch
so many
every
options
Gundam show and
with their
movies. Yeah,
composition.
Doa speaks very highly of it.
And Ari actually provide great poke. They have a lot of mobility.
So
they
I will be watching that, though, so go subscribe to Last Free Nation Culture on YouTube if you care about such things. UC is Universal Sentry, the main Gundam timeline. Okay, fair enough.
Just is very well rounded, and so I quite like what they're bringing here in Game 3.
I like the look of Weibo's side too, though. I mean, Trinity Force is like the go-to now as well, so I feel like you're kind of you know, very well-rounded here too, since you've got Trinity Force Snar. Oriana scales super nicely and gives that bit of defense along with the offense. And
Yeah,
Lightyear
Noah was
with
telling me how
engage
good
options
the main
on Ash.
Gundam
Again,
timeline
so
is.
much has been determined by the openings of these games.
Any Bond films coming to Elephant Culture? Not soon.
Though, and the
We'll
lane
get to
swaps
Bond films
giving those
eventually, though.
advantages, setting
You know,
them
maybe
up
we
for
do a Bond
success.
arc. Maybe
Now
it
we're
shows
seeing the
up in like a
evolution of
Sean
that.
Connery
Like,
arc.
all right, we're gonna stack a defense.
Sean
here
Connery
in
is an
future.
arc we would probably do. Ooh, what would I pick for the Sean Connery arc? You pick probably Goldfinger. This would be my Sean Connery arc. Goldfinger or Dr. No. But Goldfinger is more iconic, I feel. The Man Who Would Be King. I would pick definitely The Man Who Would Be King. I pick The Hunt for Red October. What would my last movie be? The Rock? I watched The Rock again recently. Maybe. The Rock is fun. I like The Rock. Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Hell no, dude. That movie is trash. Especially because I love the graphic novel. It's actually sad what they did to that in the movie. Alan Moore just gets his work soiled by every adaptation. I think that'd be a pretty good four movie
Do
Sean
come for
Connery
the
arc.
invade.
You love a Jat stat, don't you? You work with Jat a lot. Do you want a fun Jat stat between
I
these
do
two teams?
see them a lot. I don't know if I love them.
Okay, well, Betty loves the Medi stat, so it's fine. These two teams have played up against each other 3 times in the last 2 months, as we see Tarzan. Oh, flash charm, flash away. Tarzan will escape. So yeah, 3
Okay,
series
Scout
against
starting
each
with
other in the
no
last 2 months.
flash and no
Guess
charm
how
now.
many
In
game
exchange,
three-
he literally traded a flash for a jungle flash and then E at level 1. That
Weibo
seems like
have
an
won out of
absolutely
those 3
horrendous
series.
trade for
Obviously
him.
not including this one.
I'm gonna
The Untouchables. Oh, that's a good one. You know what another good one is with Sean Connery? Entrapment. Oh, yeah. Where do you get all his cheesy 90s movies? Maybe Entrapment.
say all of them.
Nope, 0.
Oh, it was one of the
LNG
other.
win every game 3 between the two teams. Our featured matchup is Xiaohu and Scout in the mid lane. Scout's already burned his flash and LNG.
Oh,
have
the
looked
Name
for
of the Rose. Holy shit, how could I forget? I love the Name of the Rose. That's right. We'd have to do the Name of the Rose. Good cowboy movie, Tombstone. Tombstone is dog shit, dude. Thorne and I a couple years ago got high and watched Tombstone together when he was in LA, and it was terrible. Val Kilmer is amazing, but Tombstone is bad.
0.
Oh, it was one of the
Especially even for 90s westerns. Unforgiven destroys Tombstone on every level.
LNG win every game 3 between the two teams. Our featured matchup is Xiaohu and
If I write with your mouse, yeah, I do write with my mouse. All right, so what we're seeing here, guys, to explain what's going on is basically Light and Crisp
You love a
on
Jack
Ash
stat,
Brom
don't you? You work with Jack a lot.
really
You
want
like
to
a
get
fun
into the
Jack stat
2v2.
I
between these two
do.
teams?
Because they will
See them a lot.
annihilate
I don't know if I
Kaisa
love them.
Alistair
Okay, well, Betty loves the Medi
in the
stat,
laning
so it's
phase.
fine.
And so LNG is stacking on this side because they are expecting a Braum
These two
Ash
teams played up
invade.
against each other
And so
3
the reason they go
times
after this is they see an
last 2
opportunity
months.
potentially to go for it.
Tarzan, oh, flash
But
charm,
it does
flash away.
gimp the mid lane pretty
Tarzan will escape.
significantly.
So, yeah,
And now Crisp is here, so they are going to see this top. And there's no time to do the swap now. Ash was looking bot, then recalled, and is going back to lane. So we're going to get the match 2v2 because LNG showed here.
all of them.
Nope, 0.
Oh, it was one of the
LNG
other.
win every game 3 between the two teams. Our featured matchup is Xiaohu and Scout in the mid lane. Scout's already burned his flash, and LNG have looked for the invade on the top side. Scout was back
The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly is a very good Western. Yeah, of course it is, but I was talking about 90s Westerns.
between the two teams. Our featured matchup is Xiaohu and Scout in the
There's a bunch of awesome Westerns from the 50s and 60s.
mid lane. Scout.
That's, I mean, Searchers, Shane. You know, Fistful of Dollars, Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Magnificent Seven. All bangers.
already burned his flash, and LNG.
You know what is underrated as a Western is the remake of 310 to Yuma with Christian Bale and Russell Crowe.
Have looked for the invade on
Oh, it was one of the
LNG win every game 3 between the two teams. Our featured matchup is Xiaohu and Scout in the mid lane. Scout's already burned his flash, and LNG have looked for the invade on the top side. Scout was back across towards the red. Weibo have a man advantage right now as Tarzan can look for the engage. Zicker on the wrong side of the wall. Flash away from Hung, but the flash chase. They're going to get concussive blows on him. Just need one more auto.
Okay, but we end up here actually over-pressing our advantage, and now we're in a situation where we actually are versus Ashbrom at a level 1, and we lose these if we're LNG. So I really disagree with how much they press forward here. Right? The problem is that they get the information that they want here, and they don't really have to overcommit. And at this point in time, there's still an opportunity to swap bot. You have time probably to walk bot. Once you see Crisp here, you should abandon this play and go bot.
Tarzan will escape. So yeah, 3 series against each other in the last 2 months. Guess how many game 3s Weibo have won out of those 3 series? Obviously not including this one.
I'm gonna say all of
Unforgiven
them?
is so good.
Guys,
Unforgiven is amazing.
Between the two teams. Our featured matchup is Xiaohu and Scout in the mid lane. Scout's already burned his flash, and LNG have looked for the invade.
Will there be any Nolan films for reviewing? I'm interested in the review for The Prestige. That's Thorin's favorite movie, so we'll get there eventually. Thorin's favorite movies are Heat and The Prestige, so we've already done Heat.
Featured matchup is Xiaohu and Scout in the mid lane. Scout's already burned his flash, and LNG have looked for the invade on the top side. Scout was back across towards the red. Weibo have a man advantage right now as Tarzan can look for the engage. Zicker on the wrong side of the wall. Flash away from Hung, but the flash chase. They're going to get concussive blows on him. Just need one more auto. Light will get it. Hung is left.
That's just a disaster for LNG now.
Ward here giving the vision. Weibo are the ones with Prom. Like, Prom is so insane in level 1 fights, the passive, the Q, and Weibo here, they're the ones coming out in game number 3 with a massive advantage. Wait, it's not done yet, Betty, look!
Zicker's on the flank, has that flash. Tarzan hits level 2, Hung on his way to join the fight, but doesn't have a flash, and Odie has that pulverize. Counter strike, gonna go down, and Zicker locks up Crisp. Tarzan trying to get the Bramble smash away. Zicker flashes forward, Twisted Advance will get the slow onto Zicker, concussive blows as well, gonna get the stun. Breathe and Xiaohu walking down towards the bottom side of the charm. It's gonna land onto Tarzan, and he's down too. LNG now the ones on level 2.
All right, how does this happen? We're invading here in the jungle.
Game number 3 with a massive advantage. Wait, it's not done yet, Betty. Look.
They're actually choosing to fight this.
Level 2, Hung on his way to join the fight, but doesn't have a flash. And Odie has that pulverize. Counter strike, gonna go down, and Zicker locks up Crisp. Tarzan trying to get the Bramble smash away. Zicker.
What is Xiaohu doing during this? What is Xiaohu doing?
Gonna go down, and Zicker locks up Crisp. Tarzan trying to get the Bramble smash away. Zicker flashes forward. Twisted Advance.
What a fiesta, guys! What is Xiaohu doing? How does Scout hit? What is everyone doing right now? Scout actually gets to lane first, so he's able to hit level 2, even though he took E first. I just don't understand how he has lane pressure.
By investing mid lane flash for jungler flash, and then wrapping around, and the extra ward here giving the vision. Weibo are the ones with Prom. Like, Prom is so insane in level 1 fights, the passive, the Q, and Weibo here, they're the ones coming out in game number 3 with a massive advantage. Wait, it's not done yet, Betty, look!
Zicker's on the
I like how Breathe is just autoing Scout here. Meanwhile, Zika just walks around, so they get a 3 versus 2. And then he gets charmed. He gets hit by the electrocute proc. And they know Tarzan has no flash, so nobody's getting out of this one. Why is Breathe flashing? What? Oh, he didn't flash, he hopped, excuse me.
Game number 3 with a massive advantage. Wait, it's not done yet, Betty, look!
Zicker's on the flank, has that flash. Tarzan hits level 2, Hung on his way to join the fight, but doesn't have a flash. And Odie has that pulverize. Counter strike, gonna go down, and Zicker locks up Crisp. Tarzan trying to get the Bramble smash away. Zicker flashes forward. Twisted Advance will get the slow onto Zicker. Concussive blows as well, gonna get the
Xiaohu's still level 1.
Xiaohu walking down towards the bottom side of the charm. It's gonna land onto Tarzan, and he's down too. LNG now the ones on top.
What is going on? The top laners didn't even go to bot lane. They stayed mid. Breathe level 1, Zicker level 1. The only level 2 in that whole exchange was Scout. He set up the charm. LNG find 2 kills in exchange.
No champions in the bottom lane until 2.5 minutes now when the top laners finally.
What an outrageous game.
Both teams sticking with
Breathe and Xiaohu that pulverized counter strike. Gonna go down, and Zika locks up Crisp. Tarzan trying to get the Bramble Smash away. Zika flashes forward. Twisted Advance will get the slow onto Zika. Cuts and flows as well. Gonna get the stun.
I mean, I guess it's a good read by LNG.
It's gonna land onto Tarzan, and he's down to LNG now. The one's on top.
Look, it's a good collapse from LNG, if we're being honest. Like, they actually have the priority over those camps, and they realize they have the man advantage, and they have the level advantage.
He set up the charge.
I really want to know what happened in mid lane, though, to create that situation.
No champions in the bottom lane until 2.5 minutes now when the top laners finally go down there. Both teams sticking with the play on top side. And you got to say, well, looking at the results, it was good from LNG because they're able to stick with it. Zika's here closing off the escape from Weibo. They did not expect the full commitment. As you see in the replay,
Maokai is just
the
paper.
bottom lane minions are all just fighting each other.
Early levels, no items, though.
Well, it's a brawl.
He's
on the
incredibly
continued
squishy.
and extended level 1. Scout comes through. He
Tries to get
hits
out
the
with
charm.
phase rush, but
Tarzan
gets hit
goes
by
down.
charm.
He had no flash, and we were talking in Champ Select. The first time around, the Jacks got a really big boost. All right, well, now they just got 2 more kills.
Zika's actually like MVP of LNG this series, guys. He's actually playing really well.
Flash out, but he had thought 3 minutes ahead as the one goes down. Oh, Zika might just die in the 1v1. The clank comes in from Tarzan. Zika trying to get out. Weibo here as well with the Dustbringer, but there's the slope from the Boomerang, and I'm not sure Zika can escape this precarious situation.
Zika.
Counter-Strike will buy him enough time to get to the safety of his tower.
Counter-Strike is a godsend. I guess the lesson learned here is always stick with the play.
Yep.
Continue the play.
Commit.
So, Zika doesn't have teleport, but it's not going to matter too much. I mean, honestly, the wave getting pushed in now, he can run straight back from base and avoided death right there. Just
I don't understand production's decision to cut to these crowd shots. Well, they didn't have a crowd previously, so now they have to cut to one to show that they actually have one in quarters.
Let's take stock.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Because a lot has happened. The bad news for LNG is that their bot lane is in the 2v2 that they wanted to avoid. They're a little bit behind in farm, and they're quite behind in gold. On top of that, there's a lot of pressure being put on by Xiaohu in the mid lane because the matchup is still very favorable to Orianna, but Scout is not that far, he's not in too much of a deficit. Yeah. The good news for LNG is their Jax is very strong. As you already said, the acceleration of being able to get those early kills.
I have not seen Seraphim Falls. Is it good?
Closer to that Trinity Force spike.
Highlander? No, we don't. Sean Connery's casting in Highlander is a crime.
The game is still in a relatively even state.
Agreed.
It's just a matter of, in terms of the matchups, I think Weibo is happier to find themselves in standard lane.
And it's funny because Breathe was the one who got the last hit on the original First Blood hit too. So, you know, he also got the injection of gold, and now he's getting like the ping pong of the minion wave back towards him. So, will be really fun to keep track of this one as we're going to stick with our flip-flopped Australian lanes.
They call them thongs out there, don't they? Flip-flops in Australia. So, LNG.
We got to call up our Australian now. Where's Spawn?
So flip-flop lanes. Yeah, we should have got like Spawn or Atlas on the desk instead. Weibo here. Okay, as you say, with these flip-flop lanes, there is a slight lead for Light, but it's, 5 CS or so, nothing too monumental. Breathe getting that first blood and meant that the lead that Zika could have developed in the bottom side of the map hasn't.
I missed the early part of the stream and why Gundam was brought up. Yeah, we're watching it. We're watching the new Gundam show for Nerd Legion, the Netflix one that came out.
That lane. Be back here in time. Grub's up. It looks like LNG trying to bring everyone to a potential fight around that first neutral objective.
The Grub's priority is something we've seen a lot in this series. Weibo has a tendency to try and fight, but it does look like they're going to concede. The pings are coming down onto the Dragon as Breathe gets the push and Tarzan makes his way towards it.
And this ward right here that they have in that little curved brush in the river gives you so much confidence, Not only do they have a good state to set it up, but they also have vision control of the only surprise brush there, and it will just be the agreement as Weibo don't even try and contest, move down to collect their dragon instead.
I don't think either team will be too upset with that sequence.
Exactly, because again, kind of the theme of the series has been Weibo investing a lot in Champ Select in these team fight setups, and so if you get your early dragons, you want to get some way to kind of force LNG into those fights where they come at you from head on, and you get to use the sturdy power of your front line to its full extent.
A nice push on the top side of the map for Weibo. Zika going to be able to catch this wave as we find ourselves in a timid early game.
Yeah, we had 3 minutes, 3 kills, and now
You
nothing's
call
happened,
that
Betty.
level 1 timid?
Yeah,
What
but
the?
I mean, that was chaotic. But now we've had moments of tranquility, peace, as minions perish on the rift. Gold is ransacked from their corpses. First items spawning soon. This time around, the Ashe and the Braum are the terrifying duo to be afraid of.
All the way up towards his
Ash
top side.
arrow?
The arrow's coming down, hits onto Weiwei. Nature's Grasp as well from Tarzan. Breed flashes away from LNG. No one tanking up the tower as of yet. Chris flashes in. They're looking for more twisted advance. Paranoia on the back line. But the
Oh my
shockwave
God, that
is
shockwave.
absolutely massive. Xiaohu finds 4. Wei walking away wounded.
Hey
but
guys,
there's
maybe we should
another
keep
wave
playing
in to go
dive
over.
comps into
They're
this.
looking for more
Maybe we
twisted
should,
towards
maybe,
Arrow. The arrow's
I think
coming down,
LNG
hits onto Weiwei.
is genius. Maybe we should keep playing dive compositions and then taking even man
As well
fights.
from Tarzan. Breed flashes away from LNG. No one tanking up the tower as of yet. Chris
This is
flashes in.
absolutely what we
Looking for
should be
more twisted
doing.
advance. Paranoia on the back line, but the
Absolutely what
shockwave
we should be
is
doing.
Absolutely massive. Xiaohu finds 4. Wei walking away wounded, but I don't think.
Okay, Nocturne's just
Taking
a
out
troll
the
pick now.
turret plate
I mean,
here,
you can play
and
Nocturne
landing
correctly
his
in this
Ash arrow
game, but
from
you can't do
downtown.
that.
A phenomenal
You can't do that.
read from Weibo. 4 members were on the top side of the map, ready to react to that dive. The communication was so clear, and I have to wonder what LNG saw on the map to make them feel confident enough to make that play happen. They did have the stacked
Diving
wave.
at 9 minutes. My
I'm going to keep
God.
my eyes on the minimap. They had no deep vision invested. They see Tarzan now. They try to call the playoff, but Breathe setting it up. The Ashe arrow onto the
Forces
Nocturne.
Gala's flash
They get the
early.
flash out from
Then we have
Gala.
to run
And then watch
away.
this commitment
Ashe arrow
here
is
from
down because it
Chris.
was used onto
Flashes in,
Nocturne.
connects the slow. Nocturne comes in, and then Xiaohu
Absolutely
finds them all
Giga ult
with
though.
a
He actually moved the
phenomenal
ball
shockwave.
afterwards because it was attached to Braum.
Juicy. Gala was just on the edge of it too, on the outside. Even he got pulled in, and then they chased down the extra kills here. Plus they got a bunch of turret plate money in the aftermath. If you're the team,
This man is just dead inside.
that has
Some reactions are not like the others.
I like the dead stare. So, I mean, the extra gold here, plus the early dragon, means that the path forward for Weibo should be pretty straightforward, since they have the gold to be able to win the team fight, the composition to be able to do it, and with the dragon already in their favor, the ability to try and like draw LNG over towards them. LNG, of course, here though, with this Nocturne and these solo laners, going to try and make these sideline plays. Gala was massive in the previous game. He is on another one of his huge picks, possibly the most signature in the Kaisa, and he's going to have to do a lot of work this game.
Have I ever thought
What a
to
shockwave
going
it
back
was.
into coaching?
Xiaohu.
Yeah, you know, I thought to myself, you know, I turn 38 tomorrow, guys. I thought to myself, at 38 years old, what I want from life, you know, I have 2 kids of my own, but I would really, really, really like to be in a professional esports team where my career is based off of the whims of teenagers. And because I'm raising my own kids, but I thought, what if I just had a few more children to raise who are emotionally stunted from doing nothing but playing on the computer during their formative years? And I thought to myself, why not? That sounds like a great plan.
Highest killed. Well, no, he's the player with the 6th highest kills of anyone at Worlds, just passing past Showmaker. Has been here so many times. Last year, the first time, obviously, made it past the quarterfinals after leaving RNG. A 3-time MSI champion with RNG as well, but never really been able to translate that to the world stage. So often denied at quarterfinals. Now with Weibo looking to make it back to at least the semifinals. And
You say you
LNG
wanna have
currently
more
backs
kids?
against the ropes, at least in this
Adopted.
game. And they would be in the series
Pro
as
gamer
well. They would fall
children,
down to
Susie.
2-1.
You can take care of them too.
Trying to find a bit of redemption for last year, where they did fall out in the quarterfinals to T1.
What I love about Weibo is
And your
how
economic
over the
future
last
tethered to a
2 years, they
15-year-old
just
game.
continue to
Exactly.
Surprise in terms of expectations. They had to go 2-2 in the Swiss stage to be able to qualify. There was skepticism around how they were going to perform. And now here they are in the
Been there,
first
done that on
quarterfinal
Overwatch. Yeah, you
of
want
Worlds
another
2024
round, Susie?
Against an opponent that they faced many times before this year. And it's an incredibly competitive series. You never really know what level you're going to get from Weibo. And here in game 3, so far, they're looking good.
I mean, it continues to go that way. Coming into the series, they were 8-8 on the year. Now they're 9-9, splitting games even in this individual series. But back to the match at hand here, it is kind of on LNG to open up an area where they can actually create one of these plays, and they're actually going to jump on the Dragon themselves. I think it should be a response from Weibo, even though you see Tarzan walking from Fountain right now.
Miles away as well.
LNG should be able to just burn it down and smite it easy.
They will get the Drake. LNG secure it. Weiwei with the smite.
Not really a big deal to give up that one Drake, though. Basically, Weibo can force LNG to play into them for the remainder of the game.
The only thing for LNG is they don't have.
It's a lot like game number 1.
Top wave.
Oh, Scout going in, the paranoia as well. They dive onto Breed, who tries to jump to the safety of the tower, but he can't get there in time. The arrow going wide, Nature's Grass used as well by Tarzan. Xiaohu coming in with a TP, and Zika was caught with a shockwave. Zika diving back forward, he's surviving for so long. In the end, the clockwork wind up will take him out. Xiaohu now in a 1v3, Light.
Yeah, Light's gonna clean this up, though.
His first target, Crisp, there to join the Barney. Weiwei
Oh, no! Oh, he got the speed up. No, the spell shield.
The soul shield. Blast cone out from Weiwei, but he goes the wrong way.
Well, that was it.
Xiaohu takes the kill, Hung dies as well.
Nice job from Crisp here. They split up super nicely to clean this up. Gala's just not there, of course.
The winter's bite is icy and cold. Zika diving back forward. He's surviving for so long. In the end, the clockwork wind up will take, but he can't get there in time. That mid.
The only thing for LNG is they don't have anyone who can rotate up to.
Now, this is what I was saying they should do, by the way, guys. This is the win condition, but Weibo's just been ready for it. You know what I mean? Like, they're reading this game really well, and they realize that they do want to collapse into the Jax lane with the Nocturne and Ahri ults, like I said during the pick ban. But Tarzan actually has a really high-value Maokai ultimate there, and it allows time for everybody else to get in. They were really, really ready. They're ready for the dive on the top side, ready for the dive here.
There to join the Barney, Weiwei falling low. Xiaohu can't quite get in range, needs another auto command attack, was blocked with the soul shield.
Also, Nocturne goes the wrong way. That blast cone could have been better.
Xiaohu takes the kill, Hung dies as well. Meanwhile, Scout is getting chased in by Crisp because it blows. Glacial Fish are used. Scout flashes, but the winter's bite is icy and cold and
catch you on a side lane.
Topside, and Xiaohu's able to. And this Orianna collecting 2 more kills, just getting richer and richer and richer in this. Weibo able to chase down the extra stragglers.
That was actually a good TP by Xiaohu, unlike some of the other ones in this series.
You got to be so quick when you're playing against a Nocturne.
It has to be almost instinctual. You have to be like, they can be collapsing here. Let me be in position to immediately TP in. Scout dies in the end to Crisp, as you say. 4 kills over to Weibo. 4 kills now on the Orianna as well. A 350 gold bounty on Xiaohu's head.
So Fish, I know the results of the series. I don't know who wins which games, and I haven't seen the drafts.
1.5K lead for Weibo. They have strong top, strong mid, 80 carry in a good spot as well. Gold leads in mid and in that bot lane role. Alongside Crisp, who, you know, I'm always happy to see a support getting fed, getting paid. For LNG, the question becomes, how do you fight back? You can delay a little bit. You've already taken 1 Drake, so Soul Point not too. It's quite a way away before you really have to battle over that.
Yeah, the problem for LNG is usually you're like, okay, well, if you're looking at this setup, then maybe they can make a pick, you know, with Nocturne Ultimate coming in and Kai'Sa flying in with Killer Instinct. But in a lot of the plays that LNG have tried to set up, Weibo's countered them.
In this game, it is working to
Weibo's reaction. Benefit. They're just ready for this. Everybody's ready for this Nocturne pick now. Nocturne Prio should go down the shitter now.
Dodge away from the arrow, but Hung is the one who's being caught. Crisp chasing in. There's the shockwave back. Hung gets a good fight. To Weibo find another.
An easy pick for Weibo as Hung
shot the arrow up towards Scout, and Scout just went right back to the tower. So they've made the call to go for the gold here. Meanwhile, Weibo are going to get so much more since they also have Rift Herald. They get multiple objectives.
Looking for another charge, perhaps to the tier 2 in the
Okay, now we get double back into Ocean Soul.
The XP and gold from the enemy team. The TP behind
No,
here by
surely
LNG.
LNG does not engage on this.
Helping Weibo out, but more just dawdling through the river right now. LNG going to put their attention down towards
Great
the
use
sector.
of the
It's
dwindling
jumped down towards the
Meganar.
bottom
Okay,
side.
he's
Line
dead.
of
They can't.
Rainbow
LNG
already.
cannot
Rainbow
fight
got
this.
one. Scout still looking for that flank. The Drake secured by LNG. Their second of the game.
All right, they did sneak in and take Drake, though, while they were collapsing onto the Jax, but the question is the price. They're really lucky that Baron isn't up. Oh, Spell Shield faded, and he gets hit by it. Now he's going to get stunned by Braum. He's dead.
Weiwei, the twisted advance enough to spell his demise as Weibo might turn their attentions towards the top side, but no Baron for a minute.
The pit, as they drive it into the pit, it starts aggroing on the dragon, and then Weibo say, all right, we're going to go for the pick on the side here because Jax is alone. So we're
Well, they need to
go
do
for
something
kills,
before the
and
Meganar
LNG
fades.
opts to burn down the dragon instead and try and steal away the objective while you're killing
It's actually
off
fine
Zika.
for Weibo.
So they do get their kill, but the objective goes away of LNG. They stop any sort of that dragon stacking that Weibo would go for. It's just that here, once you blow your Nocturne spell shield, it opens up for Light, and he hits those.
Light has been
The
on
Ash
point
Arrows.
this series, though. He's been really good.
6 kills on Xiao now, on Orianna. Like, he is going to be massive. He's going to have a Leandries done very shortly here. Has the safety of a Seeker's Arm Guard, and Light.
Oh, they were trying to bait him into ulting away. Just a little bit too late. If he had been able to force him to dash with the shockwave earlier, then maybe he hits him with that arrow.
Scout's ulti.
Weibo just using that pressure to develop control around the Baron right now. As you say, this is where the next battle lines will be drawn. The next field of war has to play a little bit more cautiously towards the top side. Weiwei's here to shadow him as Tarzan begins to collapse. Crisp goes in, spell shield. There's the charm from Scout. TP coming in from LNG as well.
Guys, back off. Maokai ult if you have to.
Diving onto the backline, killer
Maokai ult.
Light locked up. Gala dives in and they're looking for the damage on the
Maokai
Light.
ult.
The
There we
unbreakable
go.
wall is not enough
That was
to
pretty
stop
late.
Gala on his advance.
That was really weird, actually. I feel like we could have Maokai ulted much sooner.
Gala dives in and they're looking for the damage onto Light. The unbreakable wall is not enough to stop Gala on his advance. Chris falling to LNG find 2.
The critical seconds there. Breathe was unable to teleport as the Nocturne ult went off, so he had to wait the whole thing. And LNG, they used those seconds.
Weibo see the Baron hasn't been in there and realize, oh my god, this is 6,000 HP.
Can't do
Xiao
anything,
has a
though.
TP, he'll try and join the fight. Breathe coming in from the top side as well, but the Baron has
Punish. Early use of the and
the paranoia being used.
in. Force Weibo to split apart, and Light was left isolated.
Weibo,
The dive
like,
comp
really
came
asking
into
for it,
fruition
considering
for
the
LNG,
Nocturne has ult
and
up
removing
again.
Light meant a one-team fight.
I understand pushing the wave up to actually try and save pressure on your mid lane during Baron, but sticking around to auto this is just insane. Kaisa almost has ult up again. 8 seconds.
Paranoia being used as well. Everybody's coming to get you as Tarzan begins to retreat with a dive in.
And he has Stride Breaker too, so he gets into the middle of 3, gets Stride Breaker, and then Gala has ult up again. Oh man.
Chris now left to his own devices. He's fried by LNG. Xiao trying to escape, but there's another Spirit Rush, and Scout will be holding the charm.
What a throw from Weibo.
Because it almost might. Xiao still finds him through the charm. Void Seeker going out as Xiao is chunked down to 200 HP. Breathe about to go mega knocked over the wall by Hung. LNG will get the mid tier 1, but not much more.
Another team fight win for LNG. This time, Weibo
They'll be able
once
to parlay
again
this probably into a
split
Drake as
apart.
well.
Breathe
Keeping it interesting here. LNG find them on the
Actually, maybe
to
not.
protect them from the collapse.
Weibo will be
trying to
out back
push
on the
back
map
after the
sooner.
LNG
But I just don't.
sneaky.
I'm really surprised by this fight in particular.
Been popped by Weiwei, diving onto the backline, killer instinct, Light locked up. Gala dives in and they're looking for the damage onto Light. The unbreakable wall is not enough.
Bernard just comes in so late because of paranoia, but I think we could have used the Maokai ult earlier.
Coming in from Gala, look at the damage onto Tarzan. The paranoia being used as well. Everybody's coming to get you.
Yeah, Zika's engage to delay them was super good, and then it was really just the Kaisa ult you can see coming off 5-second cooldown plus the Nocturne engage. This is just really good timing around their ults coming back up. Light still has no flash either.
Chris now left to his own devices. He's fried. The charm.
win for once again doing so much work on this Jax.
Oh, they are keeping it interesting here. LNG find them on the map once again, and this was Weibo.
No, I just don't understand why we're walking up and autoing the turret instead of just pushing the wave. That's the crazy part. They're not doing a good job of tracking knock ult.
Another Nocturne ultimate. It only gets dicey as they further chase. You know, Gala always can follow up on these plays. Very easy for the Kai'Sa, right in there on the Killer Instinct. They collect the extra kills, but then pulls out some
Game, can they? Every time.
and he squeezed it in there and immediately got his teleport in.
Weibo did actually pick up the Drake though,
and LNG were able to take advantage of that
because they were out on the map
timing,
first,
take down Light, take
and
down
ults
Risk,
were
and then
used on that
knock-on
engagement,
effect
so
of grabbing all those
LNG
extra
couldn't
kills on
secure
the
it.
map and chasing them down. Games
This
at
feels like
Worlds
solo queue.
really
It looks
do
like
come
solo
down
queue,
to
man.
these
It's
fractions
not. These games have not
The
been
ability to
good.
step forward, but sometimes that stepping can be
This game was really
precarious.
quite good for
Hung almost
Weibo
caught
before
there,
that
was able to
sequence,
escape.
though.
I think LNG
They were
fans
reading
will
LNG's win
rejoice.
conditions pretty
Outer
well.
Towers, he is very vulnerable.
And preventing the
Orianna
side lane
is always
collapses.
vulnerable
They did
in
it
side
twice in a
lanes,
row and got
so
an
you see him
advantage.
Having to wait. The little tiger here in the brush, waiting to collect minions.
That's his of the knock.
Two sides, because we're ultimate.
Zhao, he should be extremely close to completing the Zhonya's. Literally everyone that LNG have to get through, and with the amount of mobility, the Braum will be the greater problem, and Crisp's positioning is going to be crucial to provide that peel for his
Turbine Pro, thank you for the
one
bits.
thing
LBL versus
have to be a
LBL, you
little
know the
bit
games are going to be
careful
wild.
for in
Yep.
looking for their next play
It's how it always is. That's
funneling
true.
A bit too much into these jungle corridors.
Yeah.
Because while you mentioned Tarzan may be pretty far behind on this Maokai and kind of squishy himself, the ultimate still fills up an entire jungle corridor.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Braum can still fill up this entire area. And so ready Zika for a while.
Ooh. Zika takes the tower in his face, 700 gold for him.
Instead, Scout still looking for struggling in that side lane.
The question for LNG is
Slowly
just
but
how do
surely
you
gaining more and
close?
more control over the map.
Oh, it's
Zika,
Light. Zika jumps in and Light is
Brock
here to react.
Sterix.
Zika has to flash away.
that's the Baron though, that's the go for Baron. Light is stuck bot lane, and he can TP top.
Breathe has to
Breathe
recall
can
before
as well.
TP.
He's going to go back to base first, try and get back to full HP, but that Baron's already down to 5,000 HP. Nature's Guard's coming out, Hung doing a wonderful job of keeping the tree a mile away. The Baron falls in the
Insanely late
forest, and
TP
LNG
from Gnar.
Damn well heard it. Weibo could get nowhere near, and instead they'll look for a Drake.
So they're going to go Drake, but LNG know this, and with Baron buff, they're actually pushing on top side right now. Are
I
they
mean,
going
who
to
cares
keep
about this
Scout
Drake,
pushing
right?
all the way towards Inhibitor Tower? They do have a couple trailing members there, too. It looks like they will commit to that. Weibo destroy this
They have to
dragon fairly
recall,
quickly,
though. Are they
I
going to
think
be
they
here
should
for
be
any
able to
kind of
defend.
tower defense?
Sharo,
Looking for Scout. Doesn't
Oh.
find Scout. He's
Oh.
rushes forward with the dive immediately.
Wow, the
Breathe.
coordination on that,
All
beautiful.
behind
Did you
the
see
second,
the
but there's
Kai'Sa
not
and
enough
the
time. Breathe is
Nocturnal
down.
coming through at the same
double
time?
trailing play for LNG. It's Gala and Weiwei with the ultis to immediately answer. What a bait!
what a bait from LNG. Dodge from the Azure into a setup play. Zika, we've already seen him take these towers before. He's going to take another. LNG very quickly asserting their dominance.
How did they
here in
lose
game
this
3.
game?
That was
I
so
know,
sick.
right?
Scout was looking
I'm
for it
actually
the entire
amazed.
time.
Like, this is
They
such a
know
good
exactly what
position
your
for
play is gonna
LNG.
be. Dodges the Ash Arrow, and they punish immediately now with this Baron buff, taking down
That
the
Drake play
inhibitor
was
turrets
not it
quickly.
from Weibo. It was not
Inhibitor
it,
tower in the
guys.
top lane already raised to the ground by Scout. Chris trying to respond, but there's no one there to help him out.
Had a chance to base before, but now he has, and he returns with a death cap. Zhao has to be so careful.
If you're Weibo, how do you even jump on a side lane here? Because Kai'Sa and Nocturne are always threatening these ultis between multiple lanes to join and defend.
Yeah, this
It
point
is
it's
just
pretty
so
bad.
relentless, the pressure.
Are you giving
with
me a
the added
cookie?
Baron buff.
Thank
Zika.
you.
Has a stopwatch, he'll use it before Tarzan can get the full engage.
maple
Hung trying to come
leaf
across as well
cookie.
with an arm into
How
the wall was done.
delightful.
Zika, he's going to try and get the counter strike off in time. First leaf strikes away, the arrow going down as well. It's wide. Zika surviving for. Watch, he'll use it before Tarzan can get the full engage. Hung trying to come across as well.
Multiple
Wait,
lanes to
wait. How is
join
this
and
possible?
defend. It is just
Paranoia up in
so-
8 seconds. Oh, that's how.
relentless. The pressure.
So they're playing too aggressively when paranoia isn't up.
Has a stopwatch, he'll use it before Tarzan can get the full engage. Hung trying to come across as well with an arm.
And then they chain CC him into oblivion.
Counter strike off in time. First leap strikes away. The arrow going down as well. It's wide. Zika surviving for a hell of a long time.
All right, can Ari at least get an inhib? What's Ari doing?
Zika will fall even through the counter strike. The Thunder Sky not going to be enough to keep him alive.
So they lose top inhib for this, surely. Yeah, okay. That's fine.
Do exactly that.
Exactly. It buys enough time to get the objective. The inhibitor taken. That's the price you pay for a single kill, Vedius.
They also get the flash out from Tarzan. Like, that's how difficult he is to kill, and it's not going to get any enough damage off the back of that single top lane dive. The way in which LNG was so quickly able to punish it, convert it into Baron, and the way they've played around Baron since then.
0-3 against T1 in the quarterfinals. Weiwei was on the other side of the rift then. Tarzan swapped positions with him, but for LNG, it is a promise, really, as an organization that have never really come to fruition that now might...
As they have done with Scout, always loving those side lane resources, the trailing play here. And now, it becomes so difficult for Weibo to even gain anywhere on the map to start their play from. You see LNG with Gala in mid lane, just throwing out these W's over and over and over. The poke is painful here from this Kai'Sa. So even a couple of wards for Weibo, difficult for them to get.
Surely they pressure the normal lanes to capitalize on dead inhibitor. Yeah, surely. And they set up for Drake because conveniently the lane pushing is furthest away from Drake. So they should be able to easily get Drake here, right?
Off his death cap.
Right?
And
they should also easily be able to ward up this entire jungle so that when they walk in here, they will immediately die to Nocturne Kai'Sa Ariel.
To stand a chance. Xiaohu is so paranoid, though, of a potential Nocturne showing up. There's only the sapling on the top side. They need to spot out
this is correct.
Nocturne.
Charm wide from Scout. Tarzan.
And look, there's the ping onto the top wave. He's going to it quickly. He knows where Scout is now. He can try and get that gold.
There's so much darkness for Weibo. If they do try and step in towards that Drake, it would be soul for them, only third for LNG.
Yeah, maybe they give this one up. Maybe it's not worth it.
Light and Crisp waiting to see if someone oversteps to catch the mid wave.
LNG want the kills. They're just itching to use these ultis.
Okay, Zika, breathe not at Mega. Just keep him mini. Just keep him mini.
There it is.
No, no. Oh my God, they let him have Mega.
Out to about 2/3 HP. The arrow going in, just wide of Zika and Scout, who form a little conga line and avoid the arrow's embrace. Now Drake up 2 seconds.
That's a critical mistiming now for Weibo, because that was also Meganar in addition to the Astro.
Nice
now
chip
Breeze's gonna
damage
go
from
mini,
Ari.
And this Dragon, are they going to try and steal it in some way? I mean, it just seems so hard now with no arrow and no Meganar.
Nope.
And no flash on Tarzan. There's no way for him to get into the pit. Baron up in 15 seconds time. You give up the ghost of this Drake. Take it to 7 if someone wants soul. Make sure you secure it.
On nearing full build. This final fight is largely going to come down to execution, but the crucial advantage that LNG have is setup. The approach to the Baron is a difficult one for Weibo. They have no deep vision, no potential flank wards, and Zika
Hung has no wards, though.
maintains pressure on a side lane. Breathe cannot stop him, meaning that Weibo's running out of
Sapling's
options
too good.
very quickly.
Breathe goes into mini Narp. Will be exhausted for a while before he can build up that rage bar again. LNG trying to gain control of mid in this topside jungle. Scout waiting in the wings to see if Xiaohu overextends. It's so difficult for Weibo to know if they can engage or not, because where's Zika? Is he flanking us? The arrow wide again. Light has not been on target with them. No bullseyes yet. It feels this game.
He can make is just does have his flash ready. It's so tense, Vedius.
Yeah, it's the few moments before the drop on a roller coaster, right? We all hold our breath and hope that we see one final calamitous 5v5.
Crucially, the Weibo.
What's with this timing here?
Extra time
They have to recall to get more wards.
Even though he does have his flash ready.
But everybody is staggering their recall, so Weibo actually has a timing here to get vision in.
But that deception, that darkness that he sits in makes it so difficult for Weibo to know if they can engage or not, because where's Zika? Is he flanking us? The arrow wide
Like we're
again.
doing.
Light has not been
Why are we
on
killing?
target
Why are we
with
killing
no
that?
bullseyes yet.
Why are we killing
It
Raptors
feels
right
this
now?
game as LNG
then we both
Arrows.
recall,
Maokai ult is
but
so slow
but we
moving.
don't recall
Breathe
our
doesn't
Ari
have
or
extra
our
time
Kaisa.
to
And
come up
what did we recall
with
for?
the
Most
A cloth
the
armor
ones who
and 2
started out
pink
flip
wards.
for it.
But we could have
Even though he
done
does
that,
have
but
his
without
flash
taking
ready,
Raptors and been out
has
on
to
the map.
constantly attend to these side lanes because LNG will not
And now we're just
relent
staggering
in their
recalls
side
back
lane
to
pressure,
base,
and so they keep getting the better
which
setup.
gives Weibo a chance to push out the waves again and then get control over River.
It's so tense, Vedius.
Yeah, it's the few moments before the drop on a roller coaster, right? We all hold our breath and hope that we see one final calamitous 5v5.
Crucially, the Weibo have found access into the pit. The side lane pressure has disappeared for now. The Baron is started.
All they needed was access, apparently.
That's gonna
They're
flip
gonna
it.
start up the Baron as they're trying to pull out the TP from Zika, and there it goes. Weibo stick to the Baron. The arrow goes wide. It hits onto Zika.
They have no
the Baron
Meganar?
down to 2,000 Scout going in with the Shaman's War. The Baron's already screwed by Weibo, and they dive in with the Twisted Advance Scout on the backline down to half HP. Already Gala's dead. He died.
Zika's just not in the fight. Oh my god, the Gnarl.
Breathe catches LNG. Screwed by Weibo. Start up the Baron as they're trying to pull out the TP from Zika. And
Remember that in these straight up 5v5s,
there it
Weibo's
goes.
composition
Weibo stick
has significant
to the Baron. The arrow
advantages.
goes wide. It hits onto Zika. The Baron down 2,000.
And they're trying to get onto this Orianna and chain CC him, but they don't actually
They're
succeed.
gonna start up the Baron as they're
Where did
trying
the
to pull out
tether
the
go
TP
from
Zika,
Nocturne?
and there it goes. Weibo stick to the Baron. The arrow goes wide. It hits onto Zika. The Baron
So he's charmed.
Scout going in with the Shaman's War. The Baron's already screwed by
I can't
Weibo,
see
and
the
they dive in with
tether,
Twisted
guys.
Advance Scout on the backline down to half HP. Already Gala's dead. The Baron, the
I guess
arrow
it hit
goes wide.
Ori?
It hits onto Zika. The Baron down to 2,000 Scout going in with the Shaman's War. The Baron's already screwed by Weibo, and they dive in.
Yeah, he gets feared, but he's already Zonya's. He's Zonya's the fear. So Light is just untouched in this entire engagement. And they don't get value out of the opening CC because of Zonya's.
And slams them into the wall. Weibo in the fight, and you have to feel they can just march down mid.
Ash Arrow zoned Jax out of the fight. Let's take a look.
They're trying to pull out the TP from Zika, and there it goes. Weibo stick to the Baron. The arrow.
Oh my god. I didn't even see that. That Ash Arrow timing is insane. Wow, Light. Holy shit. Look at that timing, by the way. That is hard to do, guys. Because the Ash Arrow hitbox is like at the tail of the arrow by the fletching. So it's not really that intuitive of an ability, right? See, look. Oh my god, that is crazy. He didn't do it on purpose. He had no vision. It was an accident. No, he has vision of it. He has vision of it right here. He can see it. The Nocturnal comes afterwards. It's not a fluke. He shoots that on purpose. Where you can see the TP.
To the Baron, the arrow goes wide. It hits onto Zika. The Baron down to 2,000 Scout going in with the Shaman's War. The Baron's already screwed by Weibo, and they dive in with the Twisted Advance Scout on the backline down to half HP. Already Gala's dead. He dived in and he
Shout out to Light, though. Also, the clutch Gnar ult timing. Breathe builds up his Mega so well in this fight, by the way, because he starts with nothing. And he builds it up so fast by, like, orb walking.
LNG out of the air and slams
Light also flashes the Alistair combo in darkness.
To the Baron, the arrow goes wide. It hits onto Zika.
I mean, he's been playing an insane series.
And they dive in with the Twisted Advance Scout on the backline down to half HP. Scout going in with the Shaman's War. The Baron's already screwed by Weibo, and they dive.
Wow, yeah. Yeah, he's still blinded. You guys are right. He has barely any time to dodge that.
On the backline down to half HP. Already Gala's dead. He dived in and he died for it. Incredible Gnar. Breathe catches LNG out of the
Breathe has been having a great tournament, by the way.
Weibo win the fight, and you have to feel
Breathe has been really good at Worlds.
Single fight was all they needed.
But Light won that fight, basically solo. He got so much damage down by flashing that Alistair combo, and there was no threat. They got a 5v4 with a composition that's designed to kite them.
Get the team fight, and they're gonna get the dub. 30 seconds from
Crazy. All right, quick
This is the
bathroom break,
full-
guys, and we'll do final game.
VOD of the matchup between Weibo Gaming and LNG esports.
All right, here we go.
Let's dive into the picks and bans.
Familiar with one another, you have to feel like that all of it is now coming out into
Okay,
this series.
Skarner
Let's see if LNG
actually
can bring
interestingly
us to
banned
the
on
end.
blue
But
side, so
Breed-
now the Rumble. You know, it's really interesting that Weibo, when they're on red side, wants to leave up
Yone game. I would argue
the
that
Yone
impact
Aurora
of-
combo and just trade it for the Aurora. So they take the Jax Aurora here. Because last time we saw the Yone Jax picked here, and LNG arguably should have won that game. So take Sejuani Renekton combo and Sejuani Yone combo instead. Very strong for ganks during the laning phase.
Would be
on it, and it's also
Okay, we're
great
banning
pairing
Braum
alongside the
again.
Ezreal. Great backline threat, good follow-up along.
Couple of them, yeah.
And we're just taking, I don't know about this. See, the thing is, again, we get stuck in this situation with no AP damage, and we just have a Yone for, now we don't even have like a Jax. Like the Jhin pick here seems really bad.
There's
the
the
Jhin
Maokai.
and the Nautilus locked in for LNG. They have a great team fighter composition. They can assassinate someone. They've got good pick as well with the hooks, with the Glacial Prison from Sejuani. The Maokai, as you say, locked in now for Weibo.
All right. I mean,
5 times 10.
1.
in the playoffs, nor top esports. Obviously, they lost to BLG in the end, but then they beat JDG in the qualifiers.
I see that shit on the enemy team. I'm pulling out Rammus. The Rammus pick would be mega here. It would actually be mega. Too bad if Tarzan was Pyosik, the Rammus would come out. I guarantee you. The Rammus pick is actually insane.
For that honor, I think a lot of people, you overlook Xiaohu because sometimes he can be a bit quiet. In summer, he was quiet until the playoffs came around. But this man is a man you doubt at your peril.
I mean, I completely agree. It's crazy to realize the accolades that he does have domestically and internationally. And very rarely do people put him as best mid laner all time along.
And so here, this run so incredibly, you should be getting used to these by now. Last year Worlds, in playoffs like you're mentioning. See if Weibo can keep the magic alive.
Because it truly is magic for them. For LNG, came in to this series as the favorites. Were in
LNG
lane
they
swap.
have 3 members on the bot side.
It's gonna be a dive.
TP.
Doesn't have level 3 just yet.
No, you can't dive this Jax. You can't dive this Jax
the
with
wave is too thin.
you can't dive this Jax with these 3 champions, especially a Jhin who's on 4th shot.
And, they
No,
decided
no
to call it
chance.
off.
You would just have to reload immediately. They don't have the damage. Actually, a very good TP by Breathe.
Level 2 already in that mid 2v2.
Why didn't they put Gala Ziggs? Because it was banned, and I think Weibo's pick ban was very smart because they realized here's what Weibo realized, by the way. They realized, but you leave up, if you leave Yone and Aurora up, if you leave this up and you are on red side, I love this red side draft. Scout cannot resist but taking the catnip that is Yone. You take the Aurora, you ban Ziggs, and then what do? Right? The choice is, does Weiwei, here's a question for you guys. Does Weiwei play AP junglers? Right? Plays in Italy. He's played Zyra, but he's 2 and 4, and he has 2 brand games. So no is really the answer. Rumble was banned. They banned Rumble, right? But here's the thing: if LNG leaves up Rumble, then you take Aurora Rumble, right? And you give them Jax. You take Aurora Rumble. So they have to ban Rumble. So basically, like, you need, and if by banning Ziggs, you force them into a full AD comp because Weiwei doesn't play AP jungles. So I think this is actually just a very clever red side draft from Weibo. I think the answer is LNG has to pick Aurora first. But basically, if they pick Aurora first, so let's say this is Aurora, what happens is you give up Yone here, but you know who can play AP junglers? This motherfucker. He'll play Brand. So this is actually, I think I'm drilling into Weibo's draft strategy here. And because they know LNG so well, I assume they just understand that they will just end up playing no AP comps, no matter what happens. Whereas you have a lot more versatility. Yeah, Gragas is a good shout here. This could be Gragas. Gragas would have been better. I agree with that. That's good insight. Yanya7701. I actually really like this Weibo draft. Now that I think more about it.
Scout getting caught out here. Xiaohu trying to put the damage down, and once again, we see Scout having to burn his flash early in the Yone versus Aurora matchup.
I mean, it's a difficult matchup for the Yone. He's done a good job so far, but the bigger situation to acknowledge in this swap is that Zika was much later on the TP than Breathe was, meaning he's a full level down right now. And he also, I mean, he's not at risk of getting dived, of course. He's isolated against Light Ezreal, but Breathe on the Jax in a very comfortable spot here in the early game.
And honestly, Weibo pretty happy with Light getting solo experience up on this top side, and has a pretty good time up here, constantly shoving in. Meanwhile, the defense for them on the opposite side of the map also going pretty well. I really want to highlight Tarzan though, because it's these small things where he takes a very efficient side path, getting that flash out of Scout so early on. I mean, now he gets kind of...
Yeah, I think the Gragas suggestion here on top side is a good one.
Zika was looking for something
The Renekton has just been really underwhelming in this
slightly down
series.
on experience here. So he's one level down to the Sejuani. Has to give over control of the river. Just continually throw out those saplings though.
Is 2 camps down, and it looks like Weiwei should be able to path down towards the bottom side to get himself a double scuttle. Tarzan will go back towards his red. Weiwei might be able to gank.
I mean, it's possible. I mean, Yone is broken, so it's possible that you just get this huge lead with Yone, and then he just Giga carries the game. Nice flash on the W.
Good presence there from Weiwei to, at the very least, get that flash out.
Does Monty make YouTube videos out of these streams? Dude, just go to my YouTube and hit the live tab. It's all there. You can literally... I'm streaming on YouTube right now. You can literally go to the live tab and click back to the beginning of the stream and watch it right now.
Light, though, keeping his pressure on the top side as Weibo's top support combo looks to push out that bot wave. Zika with no TP. He's going to lose a decent amount of farm. Maybe Hung can hold the wave. Nicely done.
You can see Weiwei actually covering.
Seraphine goes crazy here instead of Jin. Yeah, maybe actually.
Weiwei can dive forward. Hung's going to try and delay for as long as possible. It's taking about half his health to do it, but this is really well played by the LNG support. 1 minion down. Will be 2, 3. Well, he gets the experience from the third to Zika. He'll be very happy with Hung's sacrifice of HP to keep his minions around.
Yeah, every little bit of experience really matters once they match back up. If he's going to go toe-to-toe with Breathe once again, you assume that Breathe on the reset will head back down there. Yep. So it should be that. Meanwhile, Tarzan on the Maokai is on bottom half of the map right now as well. So much pressure here, though, towards mid lane. I wonder if they'll just cross, because Crisp on his reset is coming to hover.
Scout in a really difficult position right now just because he used his TP earlier once that initial play came through, and then Xiaohu TP's...
Really wants to get that level 6 if he can.
Has to call Hung over to help him so he can take the wave at...
So far in this series, it's been a bloody affair. These teams have been no strangers to getting down and dirty. Normally teams take time to warm up on stage. Feels like they've just been cooling down. Yeah. You know?
And it does often happen when you get towards match point in a series like this, right? Both teams calm down. You don't want to throw the game level 1 by overstepping, like jumping onto Gala has a level advantage in that top side right now.
Scout has no teleport, so his recall right now, it was not on vision, but LNG are still able to go take first Grub, even though they're on the timer where Scout is recalling and then heading bottom side, because they see that Breathe with no teleport on the Jax is still pushing the wave in. That was Smite invested from Weiwei though, so Tarzan should be able to...
Look at Zika.
He's on the flank, but Xiaohu's going to come across as well.
Zika's, why are we fighting 3 versus 2 in the pit, guys? What are we doing?
Minions. You can see Light's already got 1 kill between worlds. Is a second as Zika falls as well. Weibo.
What? So Jin is in top lane, has no priority. LNG knows that Scout has no TP, and they already got a Grub basically for free, but then we decide to go into this engagement and take a huge amount of damage, get double knocked up, then hit by Ezreal ult. And that's when Zika wants to hit the go button.
Find 2, take 2 Grubs as well.
A confident play there from Weibo as they're able to collapse with numbers first. Weiwei now isolated, trying to sacrifice. And he will get away with it. Nicely done there. But still, Weibo find 2 kills. They get 2 Grubs. And Breathe is finding purchase in the bot side as well.
Yeah, Breathe was pushing that whole time. Had to be answered by scouts. Goes to invade as well before getting his recall off. And that ward that he just dropped here behind Krugs will see the next clear and allow them to continue tracking Weiwei after the reset. We'll track scout.
This fight, right? Because your AD carry's nowhere near the battle. You know you don't have TP on your top lane. Yeah, the curtains can open, but already 2 people are dead before anything really happens.
I mean, it's a level 6 Jhin. Like, what are you really going to do here?
Olive there, up in the tower, like Jhin can open up the ultimate, but it's so little, so late. It's so much damage. There we go.
Daney with the great reactions all series.
Dude, Daney does cook and draft, guys. Like, people like to shit on Daney, but honestly, a lot of his drafts are extremely good. The problem when he was with D+ was that his players were too stupid to play his drafts. The drafts were good. You know, I think if you fault Daney, he sometimes like he does something wacky that you think that's really good, but he doesn't like account for the fact that his players are too stupid to play his drafts. That's his problem. But I think his drafts have been magnificent now that we've kind of broken them down a little bit.
For Weibo, and LNG found a little bit wanting. Weibo will be able to get the Drake as well. So this is 2 grubs, a dragon, 2 kills, almost a 2,000 gold lead, currently sitting about 1.5k their advantage. And really nothing for Weibo so far. They will start scaling up towards first items. You know, Yone on Blade of the Ruin King feels like a much more powerful champ than he does before you get there, but it's still a little bit of a while away. Scout is looking up towards the top side though. Breathe does have flash. He'll walk towards the river to try and get some vision and make sure that he's not being collapsed on.
They're certainly going to have to do something to change the direction of this game. Of course, on next Grub spawn, that might be an opportunity for them to do so. Again, Weibo have been so good at replacing their deep vision, allowing them the extra information to set up these plays. And Light here, the bombardment from bottom side, constantly keeping that up.
Doing it blind as well. It doesn't actually have vision around that corner. It can't quite see exactly where Hung is, but still hits him with a Mystic Shot with the True Shot Barrage. Weiwei trying to cover this top side. May look a bit of damage. You can sneak in here. Zika clearing out the minions to make sure that Weiwei can get a little bit further forward. It's just a on his way. It may just be cover. Breathe goes in with the Grandmaster's Might, and as soon as I say it, Breathe goes in for...
Wow, how does he live through that? I would be so tilted if I was LNG.
Just to dissuade any further advances.
Great punish there from LNG, but Breathe, with his fancy feet, is able to navigate. Nice idea.
That's a tilter. He also gets the minion wave. Oh my god.
So no real damage done.
Oh, that sucks so bad for LNG.
Hold on to their lead for now, but a really nice idea there.
Kwani and Yone, you know, so much synergy there, and yet unable to get any kills with them. Here, they'll immediately start it off again.
Engage going in as they look to try and catch out Hung. He'll only land the dredge line onto Tarzan. Hung tries to flash the wall with the True Shot Barrage, just going wide. Crisp is going to chase him down towards the bottom side, but LNG won't really care that their support is being chased out by Crisp. The Titans run for a little shield into the dredge line. Hung still surviving. Crisp has to
what is Hung doing? Or what is Crisp doing, rather? I can't believe he gets that kill. It's still bad. Oh, he gets out. That's crazy.
Scout looking for a little bit more up towards the top side. Weiwei now locked up between 2 worlds.
Never mind, it was genius. It was genius, guys. It was genius.
Xiaohu finds another. Scout was unable to find anything on the top side, and Weibo will get 4 grubs.
And now it's just Weibo dominance. They get to their 4 grubs. They're going to grab an extra.
The Weibo dominance.
They get the
God.
early advantage in the play, and Weibo now with
Weibo, they're more aim
trying to play off their advantage.
Oh, now we just play into the bot side.
Steps a little bit too far. Tarzan goes in with the Bramble Smash, but doesn't follow up with the Twisted Advance. Gets the Dominus out, and that will time out before Weibo advance for a second
recall
dive.
Now, set up for next break.
And that's all they wanted. Maybe play for plates as well. The arrival of Weiwei is crucial as the ulti comes through.
Dominus about to time out here. Zika, Glacial Prison hitting, but Xiaohu was able to dodge just outside of tower range, and now between 2 worlds. Go Weibo once again. Already Zika down. The rest of Weibo beginning to... Zika, Glacial Prison hitting, but Xiaohu was able to dodge just outside of tower range, and now between 2 worlds.
For plates as well. The arrival of Weiwei is crucial.
Look at this TP from Breathe. He goes back, buys.
Xiaohu was able to dodge just outside of tower.
Great ult by Xiaohu.
Between two worlds. Go Weibo once again. Already Zika down. The rest of Weibo beginning to collapse here as Weibo and Hung look for a little bit more. Dredgeline hitting onto Tarzan, but the
Jin seems
curtain
useful.
call is tanked up by Weibo. Gala trying to join the fray here.
Scout's TP is so late on this, by the way.
Right now, and they're trying
Scout
to
wants to get the wave and push it out, but he needs to TP right away if they're going to stop this dive. And he's got nobody in the top side. I mean, he sees Breathe, right? Okay, so also Breathe is recalling. Like, what do you think Breathe is going to do? He's recalling on this ward, so he's just going to be able to TP back in. You have to be able to TP here if you're Scout.
They get the flash, and that's all they wanted. Maybe play for plates as well. The arrival of Weiwei is crucial as the ulti comes through.
Dominus about to time out here. Zik.
Like, why are we not TPing onto the turret right now? He's recalling. He's recalling, guys. And then he stops recalling and he decides to push instead. And then he pushes, and then he decides, without recalling, to TP bot.
Dredgeline hitting onto Tarzan, but the curtain call is tanked up.
LNG is just on the struggle bus, man.
Scout still pushing in the top lane. TP coming in by Scout.
Now he's just TP. Like, what the fuck is this?
Locked up for a second. He will fall to the turret. As Weibo have found another, but have they overstepped?
Literally
Scout
entirely
snap
useless
back to
TP.
Reality. LNG only got one.
The party in the bottom lane is actually going to move over.
Also get a million plates in mid for easy real.
Twisted advance to a minion. He got snared just in time. Instead, he goes to Tarzan. And Gala will reload and then put a shot in the back of the tree and find another for LNG.
It's 2 kills for LNG, finally on the board. But the damage that was done was still significant.
Wasted
more
TP.
plates secured on the bot side of the map, more kills. And this dive from Weibo, the Aurora ultimate coming through, the Malignant proc finishing off Zika, and then Weiwei trying to catch Tarzan isolated, uses the W to try and sidestep CC, but this jungle support
actually with a nice pullback there onto Breathe, ensure that they get the kill, continues to get kills, continues to get...
It's a 3-0-2 and has been kind of Weibo's player of the series. He's definitely up there in terms of the impact he's had in their games. And now you can see the MasterCard lane economy snapshot is all red for Weibo. They are in prime position to close this out its own element. That's all that Weibo wanted.
Playoffs in summer, the regular season games, it was back and forth. It wasn't until that on the opponent at hand to underestimate. And this top side is going to be crucial in allowing them to find an angle back into this game.
I'm going to take a moment to shout out Crisp as he is on screen right now. He's done so much to get and continue to keep up the deep vision for the team that creates plays. And there's so much talk about 2019 and, you know, Tien returning to Paris. But Crisp, also a world champion, and now he might have to make another play.
Hung looking for the flank here. They jump onto Tarzan first. They'll lock him up for a second. Weibo might lose their jungler before the fight really begins. And that's what's going to happen. Breathe tries to dive onto the
Breathe
back
is flipping out on Gala in the back line.
Gets away from the between worlds.
Oh, he got the auto in before the flash from Gala.
Slams him in the back of the lamppost, and that's another. Hung trying to do everything he can. Breathe doing so much work on the back here. Scout having to flash away.
The slow chase is huge, though, from Weibo. God, he's just immortal. Like, killed him.
But Weibo are not done with him. They'll find another light on a killing spree.
In a 4 versus 5.
Now they get tier 2 local gold. Yikes.
Breathe with unparalleled confidence. Dives into the face of LNG and walks away the victors as they get a tier 2 turret as well.
Do you feel that? It's the way bros rising up.
Keep your eyes on Breathe in the second half of this fight because it is Tarzan that gets collapsed.
I mean, they use everything onto a fucking Nautilus. Or Maokai, rather.
To really follow up on it doesn't, but look at
and Maokai still gets his ult off.
Dives into, onto Gala, gets the cleanse out. CC, the follow-up Aurora ultimate onto 4 members away.
Oh.
To allow Breathe to get that kill onto Gala, who also flashed. Then the 3-man taunt from Crisp. Like, this fight has so many highlight reels from the individual players of Weibo that it allows them to win and secure the tier 2.
There's just something about this.
First time Arcana stream, always enjoyed your content. Thank you. Spank my beef 38. What a magical name you have, sir. Has your beef ever been spanked because of your name?
Made their way through the playoffs. Last year it was their way through Worlds until they finally met up against T1 and were stopped at that final hurdle. Here they're trying to make that run again. I don't think anyone would have put them as a team that would make it to the semi-finals, but right now they're on the cusp of it. The Riptail charging forward. Weibo, 5 players strong towards this top side. LNG just hanging on to anything they can.
And the reason people are so surprised, I mean, Xiaohu may be a legendary player, but this was not a great year for him. But this game is definitely
Well, it was not a great
him,
summer for him.
as well as a light here. 3 kills on the Ezreal. The consistent carry for the team.
Hey, Scout. Have a plan. Gold
Did manage to steal away the red and get
presence on the map.
Wave up. Huge item here for the next fight.
It's going to be in such a strong position. Scout sitting short right now. Wants to get up towards that stride breaker. Will want to get himself back. Zika looking to try and catch out Breed. Does do so. He's a level down though, and I'm not sure that's a fight he really wants to take for too much longer. Weibo setting up around the Baron. It feels like any fight could be the death knell for LNG, and as much as we talk about the might of Weibo, you have to see the other side. LNG were looking for redemption after getting knocked out in quarters last year. Tarzan would be just so disappointed to underperform.
You focus on Tarzan, you know.
We're very far away from any kind of Dragon Soul, though, so Dragon kind of meaningless.
For that play.
32 minutes, earliest Soul possibility.
Weibo encroaching on that territory.
Weibo has done much better with vision control in the lead, though. LNG has been struggling with vision this entire series.
Anduin's and the locket already complete. He can put some damage down. Ultimate controls so much space when used correctly. Currently,
Some of these like back timings, recall timings, and staggered recalls have been very weird from LNG.
Plenium disengages, collects the wave while the rest of the team try and control the other half of the map. But LNG just made a strong push. They just dropped these wards over by Baron, and as soon as you say that, Tarzan and Chris move in.
Yeah, Weiwei's going to have to ask Assault across, and you can see Crisp immediately reacting to the fact that Scout jumps in with that Mortal Seal. Xiaohu now has the Seeker's Arm Guard as well for this next
Crisp
fight. So
greater than Hung. Well, the thing is Crisp has not been performing super well at Worlds.
Have that stasis to buy
He's been kind of a liability, honestly. He's having a much better series, though.
Look at this vision coverage. There's a deep control.
Weibo's Barons have looked odd, but have been exemplary. Scout's going to go in, unbinds his soul, and then jumps back, but Breathe is now going to mark him, and Weibo is still on the Baron as far as we...
This is like the slowest roll ever to get into this Baron, by the way.
Tarzan, trying to chip away.
How do you even walk in here? Tarzan will just ult you. Okay, ult please. Tarzan, thank you.
In the pit. Breed gets the stun onto Weiwei. Meanwhile, Zika trying to distract the rest of the team on towards the back. The true shot barrage between worlds. Weiwei has to flash away, but Breed puts him in.
Oh, did you see that? Light dodge the Yone ult.
Frontline curtains open, Tarzan's in the pit. Breed gets the stun onto Weiwei.
Light doing work.
Trying to distract the rest of the team
True shot barrage, watch light.
Barrage between worlds. Weiwei has to flash away, but Breed
EE's out.
puts him in his place, and now the dive into the back line by Scout is not enough to take anyone from Weibo down. It's all on Scout and Gala here, you feel, but Weibo aren't giving them a second to breathe. Gala steps in, does nothing with his mortal reminder. Breathe, though, will be taken out.
RG is a cursed org. Nobody comes out of there ever wins Worlds.
No flashes available to them.
Yeah, but they're not cursed. They're blessed with MSI wins. Sometimes, most orgs don't get an MSI or a Worlds win.
We'll stack up the Q3 on the Grump, the TP coming in from Xiaohu as well, and Scout is just trying to distract Weibo for as long as possible.
Exactly, Medic.
Chinese Ezreal, too good.
Gets chunked out immediately. Keep your eyes on Scout here. He tries to find a good ulti onto 2, but a nice sidestep comes out from Light, and we're back on the Baron.
Scout dead for 25 seconds, does have the TP, but I think LNG might not take the battle around this. Crisp able to dodge away with that grand entrance. Weiwei going in for Xiaohu, who does have the Between Worlds back up. He's being chased up towards the top side. Between Worlds coming out as well as Breed dives in for the enemy jungler. And Weiwei, there's no way away. He survives this day. LNG lose the Baron.
Literally just the same fight again.
As well, and then they can back away afterwards.
Beautiful again from Weibo. They return to the Baron, they force again, and there's plenty of time to rotate.
Super ease into that ult. Yeah, super eat into the offseason. Don't worry about it.
And run straight over to put themselves to
literally double wild card loser. Supa, what a legend.
Execution once more from Weibo. They knew they overchased, but they also knew that that meant that Scout would just be isolated from the fight. One of the biggest threats gone means that there's no way that Weibo wouldn't win another fight, and Malignant bringing Xiaohu's ultimate back off cooldown, ready for the second fight, was massive as they now find themselves with a 9,000 gold lead.
Super back-to-back wild card loser, as I like to call him.
At the end of the tunnel is looking like a pinprick more than anything. No real escape from them for this situation.
I mean, Tarzan's actually doing the smart build. Locket, Randuin's, Thornmail into LNG. I mean, what are they going to... How are they ever killing him? How are they ever killing him? Frozen Heart is done.
The light at the end of the tunnel.
We even have a Shojin on light, right? It's a little bit of help.
601 with 3 fully completed items.
That's
and they
true.
do not want to get to the end of that tunnel.
For Weibo, as you say, it is all done by that Nexus falling. They are 9,000 gold ahead now. They have this Red Bull Baron power play for the next minute and 40 seconds. They're going to sync up 2 waves. Top and mid are their objectives. Hung will look for something. Hex flash across the wall. Maybe find Xiaohu. You've got to, but the Zhonya's is going to have enough space for Xiaohu. The depth charge onto light. He's not got the flash, but has the cleanse, and now here comes Xiaohu between worlds once again. Glacial Prism will hit. Crisp looking for the quickness on the back line, but now Hung and Gala are left out to dry. Gala trying to do everything he can, but Light just jumps in. They call him Light Yagami for a reason. There's a death note with your name on an LNG. Scout looks for the great seal and manages to turn the fight around. Somehow, Scout is revived, and now Breed pushing in the bot side. Xiaohu's going to help him push it out. They'll take the inhibitor, but LNG hold on to hope.
Only solo laners are left alive. Scout comes up with a triple here. Still has Yone. That is a...
Left out to dry. Gala trying to do everything he can, but Light just jumps in. They call him Light Yagami for a reason.
Oh, Light should not have gone in there. Scout finds a god tier ult. Holy shit. Light overplayed his hand. My god.
To turn the fight around. Somehow, Scout is revived, and now
It's okay. I mean, it doesn't matter that much. You trade 3 for 3, but you still have pressure. You get the inhib. It's fine. It's fine.
Solo laners are left alive. Scout comes up with a triple here. Still has Yone. That is enough.
Light through a little bit.
At least get some gold, but it's at the cost still of the split push. Breathe finished off the inhibitor. Let's take another look at the start. Tarzan is the only one kind of exposing himself.
See, Light's so cautious. He's like, I will run away from the Nautilus ult.
Shift away, and then you find yourselves in a situation as LNG where you're.
But
really
then the
heavily
greed
committed
takes
towards this
over.
Maokai that peels, and as soon as the rest of Weibo come in, you know, Xiaohu with.
You know, the obvious question is like, why do we need to kill this Renekton really? And why do we need to E, right? We're Ezreal. We can attack over this wall.
Here, Vedius. The big turnaround from Scout. The Q3.
And the empowered Q from Zika as well.
And Zika
Hilarious.
there for the extra damage.
Nothing wrong with giving a
much
1,000 gold
for
shutdown
Scout.
and a triple kill
Xiaohu's
to the
able get
Yone,
another
right?
kill. But my goodness.
Oh my god.
That was not the reaction.
Where he's like, what?
Shifts in and immediately
He says, ah, Shibal. That's what he says. He says Shibal in Korean. He says, ah, Shibal. That's what he
turn around
says.
like, oh god. Scout's done it again.
I can read his lips.
Shifts in and immediately
Ah, Shibal. That's what he
turn around
says.
like, oh god. Scout's done it again. And remember game 2, it was a similar situation. Weibo were well in the driver's seat. And then LNG found one team fight and it all began to swing from there.
All I'll say is that 9k gold lead has gone down. But, a
TP
TP
behind.
flank.
Scout has IE
That's
now.
too
Scout's
funny.
looking for the flank onto Breed. Tarzan and Chris trying to
What's
help.
Shibal mean? Shibal means fuck in Korean. He's like, ah, fuck. And ah is ah, as in like what you would use it in any language in English. Ah.
Out there, top laner. Scout jumps forward. Counter-strike coming out. There's the stun. Nature's Grasp being used as well for the root, but Scout's able to avoid it. True Shot Barrage coming out. Scout's down to half HP. He'll dodge away with the Q3. Depth charge as well between worlds. Fate sealed him to the backline, but Scout's already down, and Weibo have found the fight they were looking for in the bot side. Scout already dead. Gala walking away, but I think Xiaohu will not let him escape. Gala managing to get away for a second. The Mystic shot just wide, but Breed comes in with a counter strike.
Did you just translate ah? Well, somebody asked what Ashibalo is as if it was one word, so I had to explain it wasn't actually part of the
And it's all
word.
done by the Nexus falling.
Triple there now for Breathe, and it's Weibo inside the base.
You guys trolling me. You guys know why I did that. If you
They're
read
just
chat.
the masters of mojo. Somehow, whenever you doubt them, Weibo will come out on top. Again,
Impressive series from
the
Weibo,
underdog
honestly.
run continues
They
as
were
Weibo
kind
will
of
make
shaky
their
at the
way to
beginning.
semis.
Like they did throw quite a few times in this series. They did throw quite a few times, guys, but they still managed to pull it out. All right, guys. Reminder.
Full VOD of the matchup.
No, stop it. Reminder, I'm going to be back for the rest of the quarterfinals here at Worlds. So follow this channel, subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you missed it, you can head on over to the live tab on my YouTube channel and watch the earlier games. So thanks a lot for watching. I will see you guys. It's my birthday tomorrow, so I may not be around tomorrow, but I will be back on Sunday, and we will review all of these games eventually. All right? So I'll catch you later.